tell your neighbor that they're looking beautiful. I mean, if it's a guy, tell him he's looking handsome. Go ahead, go ahead. I mean, you should also blush. They're telling you you look beautiful. You should be happy about that. All right, thank you so much for coming. And yes, do well to stream live, or if your people are not able to make it here on time, kindly tell them to stream live, because we are live on YouTube. Just visit Business Day NG and you're going to see the videos and everything happening here live. Now, before we carry on, let's start with our welcome address by Mr. Tyre, our editor at Business Day. Please give him a round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you, Kemi. Good morning, everyone. And thank you for honoring us with your time, for coming early, and we want to respect that. That's why we're starting early. What's there to talk about cooking? We all had a meal this morning. Oh, okay, not yet. Okay, since you are coming for a cooking event, I think it's better to wait and then try out the food, I imagine. Okay, so fine. But I had something, but anyway, interestingly, yesterday I was with friends and conversation just moved into cooking and how much Nigerian food is in demand abroad. Not primarily from Nigerians. And at another conference we had, business was telling me how they saw their business double this year alone just because they were catering for the demand for local Nigerian food abroad. So people who were jackpying, if there's such a word, were also jackpying with their taste for Nigerian food, from Milo to Indomie to name it. I know of businesses in Dubai that just can't wait for the visa ban to be lifted because they have restaurants there that cater for the Nigerians that come there. If you follow Business Day very closely, you'll notice we've done a series of future stories on restaurants owned by Nigerians that are opening abroad at amazing speed. So the fact is that there is business in food. It's not just a hobby. It's not just a pastime. It's more than just a necessity, really. There's business in cooking, and that's why we have this Cooking Up Business Conference. I was looking at the profile of all our speakers today, and I urge you all to do so too. And it will tell you the extent to which this cooking has been professionalized. And I'll tell you a personal story. I know a family whose son was, I knew them, I know them quite well. And the boy was giving trouble, their first son, and he wasn't doing well in school. So they sent him abroad to do his, to Ghana. He went to do his first degree. And on the day of graduation, he calls them aside and said, "Look, Daddy, Mommy, I'm only going to get a pass. 4 years, all these fees, a pass? What's wrong with this guy?" Fine. They took it in, sent him to the UK. No, he hadn't finished in Ghana. He was having a problem in Ghana. They moved him to the UK. It was in UK, the day of graduation, that he told them that he was going to finish with a pass. And they were really distraught. But anyway, they honored it. We're already here, but it was a pass in the job market. But they called him and sat him down. "What do you want?" And he says, "You want the honest truth?" He said, "Yes." He said, "I want to work in hospitality." And his mother was like, "God forbid. Who works in, how can my son be?" I said, "No, that's what I want to do." Busy. And their understanding of hospitality was very limited. And they spoke with friends and family, and eventually said, "Look, are you serious, really serious about this?" He said, "Yes." And so how are you going to go about it? He said, "Look, I'm willing to work free at one of the big hotels in Lagos, just serving tables to learn about this thing. Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you serious?" So this young man is serving tables in big hotels. His classmates are coming to the hotels to eat meals, and they're calling him and he's serving them. But that's what he wants to do. Eventually, he goes to a very expensive school in Switzerland, I've forgotten the name now, but it's basically an MBA in hospitality. So he gets a first degree, a proper first degree, and an MBA in hospitality. So I sat him down and we were talking, and he started explaining to me how big a business this is. Those who come to the school, the hotels that come to hire, investment banks come to hire there because of service. I followed his journey, how he was telling me how he had to learn from cooking in the kitchen, cleaning the rooms, serving at the front desk, the whole business of running a hotel and hospitality. And the families that send their children there, their own chains of restaurants. Some of them are Michelin-starred restaurants. So that school graduates chefs, customer service people that work with Patek Philippe, investment banks, client services, Formula One. It's just huge. So it really opened my eyes to the extent and the size and scale and sophistication of hospitality, of which cooking is just small, a fraction, but very important because people have to eat. People have to eat. I mean, and this is just a school dedicated to that. So we at Business Day are very interested in this. Don't be dismayed by the audience here. I think don't let it downplay the size, scale, and scope of what cooking is. How ambitious you can be in that business. So it's a pleasure to welcome you. I don't want to take so much of your time. Let's get to the learning, as Kemi said, both from eating and from listening. But I think what I just wanted to leave you with is how big a business is and how serious it is for us for Business Day to take a look at it, and it is our first and definitely not our last. Thanks to our sponsor, Power Oil. Thanks to all of you for coming here early and on time, and do have a pleasant morning and afternoon.
Thank you very much. Please, let's give him another round of applause. That is our editor at Business Day. So all the news stories you've been seeing is the one in charge of all of that. Now let's get on to it. Now the next thing on our agenda is, I hope you've gotten this. If you haven't gotten, just raise your hands and we'll have someone give that to you. All right, the next thing on our agenda is the keynote address by Fumi Osinei. I'm hoping I pronounced that right. Oshine. Okay, so it's just the S I missed. All right, now we're going to be having that keynote address, and she's the business manager, Nestle Professional. Please, let's give her a round of applause. Thank you. As she comes up, now one thing you should know about her is that she is multifaceted marketing and commercial expert with over 20 years in FMCG. She's excelled in roles spanning marketing, category management, sales and business management for global brands like Maggi, Milo and Nescafé. Now she also holds a BSc in computer science and an MBA in marketing management. She's a skilled strategist and consistently exceeds targets, emphasizes flawless execution, and fosters innovation. Please let's give her another round of applause.
Thank you, Kemi. I mean, when you were reading that, I was wondering, is that really me or somebody else standing here? There's an echo on the mic. All right, thank you. Good morning, esteemed people. Foodies, I mean, I'm a foodie for life. I love food. I work in a company that does well on food, and maybe that's what galvanized me towards that, because I'm a foodie. I really just love food. And so, decision and key policy maker, I mean, Tayo, you're very right. If we don't eat, I'm sure none of us will be in this room, and that's why it's one of the biggest industry in Nigeria. I mean, when you look at the heart of home industry in Nigeria, it's growing at a whopping double digit of 12.6% annually, I mean, that's huge. It's not a lot of business that is growing in that magnitude. And I mean, there's a saying that there's nothing that would happen if you don't eat. I mean, it's only when you are satisfied eating that you can think of other things to say, okay, I have this idea or one or two things to do. So it's truly an honor and a pleasure to stand before you today to discuss a topic that is really very close to my heart. Close to my heart for two things. I mentioned I'm a foodie, I love food, and having managed a global brand called Maggi, I mean, as you all know, this is the biggest seasoning brand in Nigeria today. I would proudly say that anywhere. I mean, without Maggi, I'm sure most of the meals that you are eating today will not taste as nice or look as pleasant as it is today. So I'm really excited and proud to have, managing that brand today. And of course, it's a topic that it's really at the core of everybody sitting here. I looked at the profile of the panelists and the people that have been invited here today, and I've seen some friends around. There are people in the food industry, and I'm really always excited to have you have a share, discuss what is happening and what we can do better to really grow this sector more than what we have. So as we embark on this culinary journey together, I really want to emphasize that the world of food is not just about cooking from the kitchen, or cooking in the restaurant, or cooking in an hotel, or just being a chef. It's really beyond that, really. You know, it's really about the passion, the innovation, and a key understanding of the evolving tastes and preferences that is coming today in Nigeria. I mean, a lot of things are changing. You mentioned that in the diaspora, our food is really king. It's not just in the diaspora, even in Nigeria today, when you look at some of the businesses that are succeeding today, it's really food. I mean, we have a lot of examples that we can give in this regard of these businesses that are really growing. And you know, Nigeria is really a very diverse country. I mean, with about 250 culture. Imagine the number of food, traditional dishes, and all the rest that we can actually learn from and really do something about. And we are known, for our uniqueness in food in Nigeria, for our bold taste in flavor. If you eat a Nigerian food and it's not spicy, then maybe you need to check again. I mean, a closest continent to us or country to us, it's really maybe the Indians. I mean, they are very close, but still, Nigerian food is still very distinct. When you go out of the country, what you are craving and when you are coming back is, please, I really want, something very spicy. I mean, my last vacation, when I was coming back, I had not eaten something spicy for 2 weeks. And immediately I called, please. I said, when I get home, is eba, with a very spicy stew or soup that I really want to, because I've been craving that and I missed that for the 2 weeks that I was out of the country. So today, I'm really thrilled to share insights, real life examples that we can all relate to, and success stories, of course, that would inspire, as well as strategies that is not just going to, not just going to use for surviving or in this economy, but something that we can use despite the volatility to succeed. So let's begin with the fundamentals of a business cooking up. Tayo asked, has anybody eaten? I had my breakfast before I came here today, and so for me, breakfast is king. I need to eat to fill my tummy, and I'm sure it's the same with everyone here today. And so the key fundamental ingredient for success in the business of food starts with passion. Passion is really key. I mean, every good business starts with a genuine love for the food that you are doing. If you don't like food and you find yourself in the food industry, I wonder how you're going to survive. I mean, let me take an example of one guy that I'm really very proud of today, and is a father boy. I'm sure this example will relate with a lot of you. Is a representation of a family heritage, is known from a town that is famous for Ofada rice, and his grandparents started the Ofada business in Nigeria, and they passed it on from generation to generation. So you can imagine his own generation that is now, thriving with it. And today, Ofada Boy is a brand that has captured not just the tradition, but he has also make it a contemporary dish, you know. His commitment and passion to delivering memorable culinary experience has not only won the hearts of customers. When you go to his outlets, I mean, in Surulere, for example, and you go there for an experience, it's truly a traditional experience, because from the look and feel of the restaurant and to the drinks, palm wine, I mean, you will eat for fada rice, and you wash it down with palm wine. It's really very unique, and this is something that it's very great that he has done. And I mean, just yesterday, he had the Ofadabration, you know, festival yesterday, where he had a roll call of different people talking about Ofada, the heritage. And so one thing that, aside from cooking, that he has bring to fore is also his passion, and of course transferring the knowledge about Ofada beyond just cooking in the kitchen. And so is one good example. And by the way, that Ofadabration is the 5th edition that is done so far, and it has in attendance a lot of good people talking about the food and really propelling Ofada's story beyond. In the face of economic uncertainties, adaptation, as you know, it's very key. And you know, it really becomes the secret success, the secret ingredient to success. Another example I would like to give is Yellow Plate. I don't know how many of us know Yellow Plate. Yellow Plate is like an online store. So this, today, they adapted to the evolving world of technology and online business. You know, before now, I mean, previous COVID, I'm sure a lot of people, when we talk about online food, you'll be like, no, how? I can't. Why should I order food that I'm going to eat online when I can cook or I can walk into the restaurant? But you know, COVID really changed the face of food business in Nigeria, especially online food. And so Yellow Plate is one good example. And today, this business is digitally powered. Can you believe that this business do not really have a walk-in store? All your orders are actually order online, pick up and deliver. And so this is really, you know, a model that is adapting the face of what is happening in Nigeria and really running with it. And you know, today, when you go on their Instagram page, they have about 58,000 followers on IG. And they are really riding on the Generation Z and the millennials who simply desires quick, premium food. Today, when you order from Yellow Plate, a plate average, you spend like 20K. I mean, that's really a premium. It's even more than some walking fine dining restaurants that you would spend. And so they are riding on, you know, this trend with the millennials. And this model is really a testament to the fact that staying tuned to the market trends and being flexible in your offering can be a recipe for resilience and staying ahead of the curve. Let's not at all times look at it that I started a business, it's not working. Have you checked? What can you do differently? Is there something that you can tweak here and there that can make it, you know, better for you? I mean, just recently, the same Yellow Plate started what I would call, they call it dark room. Yeah, like a dark room by Yellow Plate. And this dark room, when you go in, it's like a restaurant, but it's kind of dark. No phone is allowed. No flash is allowed. You cannot record. You cannot, I mean, do any. Your own is just to go in, get the food, and have a full experience without being distracted with food. And you know, what a way to launch something that is relevant today, which a lot of young people can relate to. And I'm sure that is really what is going to drive the growth that we're really seeing in those sectors. Another key one is collaboration. Collaboration is crucial element in the recipe for success, and it not only contributes to the strength of your brand, but also the business as the economic turbulence is really changing today. I give an example in the area of collaboration, and I'll use my organization as an example, which is Nestle. And so today, Nestle showcased the power of partnership, you know, not just in creating a sense of community, but also fostering economic stability. And so what Nestle does today is partner with local farmers. Today, a lot of our products, ingredients, raw materials are grown locally. I mean, from maize to corns to cassava to sorghum, all these we source them locally. And what we simply do is to partner with the farmers and make it a win-win situation. And what we do is sometimes we give them the crops that will give them higher yield, and sometimes we do some trainings with them. I mean, so that at the end of the day, you are not just going to the farm and saying that I want to farm to sell. You are also benefiting and making yourself even better than what you had today. So we support these local businesses by sourcing from them. And this also, what it does for us as an organization, I mean, look at the war all around. Look at what happened in Ukraine. A lot of businesses were impacted, but Nestle was a bit absorbed because we're sourcing at things locally. And this is the power of collaboration. Imagine if most of our things were imported. I mean, maybe Nestle would be one of the organizations that will be saying that we are folding up, but that's not the case. Because of the power of collaboration with the farmers, we are able to stay ahead of the economic volatility and create, a robust network and collaborative spirit that is making Nestle to stand tall as it is today. One good example on collaboration also would be for food vendors. I mean, yes, a lot of us are in Lagos, in the key cities, Port Harcourt, Abuja, Jos, But I would say that one good thing that we can do is to collaborate with farmers. I know some businesses that have farmers in the north, in Jos, for example, where they order from. So all their produce, they order it from Jos, and those farmers know them. So they would, like, for example, I know a business, I can't remember the name, a whole farm. They pay for it. So what the farmer just needs to do is start the farming period, and when it is time for harvesting, all the produce from that farm goes to this particular organization. And that way, you are sure of the quality of what you mine, you are sure of the sustainability, you are sure of ensuring that whatever you get is really the best out of what you would get in the market. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be a win-win situation. And so I can enjoy chefs, people in the industry. If you are not already doing that, look for some. I mean, there are some online, there are some that you can even reach through friends, family to say that, do you know a very good farmer that can be supplying me with all my fresh produce direct from the farm? And of course, this way gives you a good output of whatever you are cooking. One key one, again, fact, the extraordinary from the ordinary. And there are lots of examples that we can use in this regard. I look at the party menu in Nigeria today. I mean, party has become more like a government experience. I mean, you go to parties and they give you the menu for that party, and you're seeing like 10, 12, 15 items, and you're wondering, come on. I mean, it has gone from the day when you're having a party, after jollof rice, fried rice, and swallow, and drinks. That's it. That's what makes the party. But today, it's really like a government experience, from the starter to the main dish to the dessert and to the after party. There is even after party where other things are being served. So it's really more like an experience today. It's no longer about I just go to party and I eat. It's really an experience of sort, and people are proud to say that, oh, in my party I had like 10, 15 items on the menu, and everybody went home. I went to one recently, and I saw them serving gari with some fried fish, with milk and sugar and a bottle of water. This is in a wedding, not at home. And so you can imagine how far we've gone in the business of food in Nigeria. And I think this is something that we can key into to really leverage and grow as businesses. And so one innovation, again, is on traditional dishes. You mentioned that Nigerians abroad in the diaspora, we crave a lot for our traditional dishes. And not just people in the diaspora, even in home, we do. I mean, when you hear a restaurant open up and what they serve is traditional meal, I mean, you are quick to say, I want to go and try that. I know of, I don't know if she's here now, Epan Koko, I don't know, did I pronounce? Epan Koko, yes. I know, I mean, it's from the water side. And there's a senior colleague of mine that usually cook it, and whenever she brings it to the office, the way everybody would just gather around, like, I want to have a taste, you'd be like, what is happening here? And so just imagine a food vendor opening up a business, and all that you serve is that a pampupo. You are more like creating a niche for yourself. You are creating a niche because it's not common. It's usually maybe something that you will cook for festive occasions in the house. But now imagine you have a restaurant, that it's solely just serving that. Another example is my pepper soup lady. I don't know if she's in-house. The pepper soup lady. I mean, today she has created a niche for herself in the pepper soup industry. If you are looking for an online vendor on pepper soup, I mean, our page is the one to run into, from goat meat pepper soup to fish to catfish to everyone. And by the way, she's having a pepper soup festival at the end of this year, 31st of September. So I am December. So I'm more like inviting you to our to our event, because I know it's really going to be a wow one because of all the experience that we're going to get there. So as we embark on these culinary ventures, remember that success is a journey and it's not a destination. While challenges may arise, they also create spaces for creativity, adaptation, and finding new avenues for success. Let's learn from experiences and stay committed to our vision. And so as I round up on this keynote, I would like to summarize with these key takeaways that I would like you to maybe pen down or something. Number one is passion as the foundation. We need to start with a genuine love for food. Let passion be the driving force behind that business. If you have passion, I mean, even when you are tired, because of that passion, it gives you the adrenaline to really push yourself. When you are tired and you are saying like, oops, I think I can't get up from the bed today. But because of that passion, it gives you that adrenaline to push and be able to do it. Adaptability in a volatile economy. We need to stay tuned to market trends. We need to be flexible in your offering to navigate the economic uncertainties successfully. I mean, there's so many ways that we can do this, either by having some fusion into the already existing one. Suddenly, puff-puff is becoming very popular. Puff-puff is something that, I mean, you just get flour, mix it with some things, and fry it in your kitchen. But today, there are some people that are catching home grands with puff-puff making. From velvet puff-puff to cinnamon puff-puff. I mean, a lot. And you see a bowl or a plate of puff-puff, ordinary puff-puff, they are selling it for 20K. And you are like, is it the same puff-puff that we normally eat, or sometimes even buy, by the roadside? So, adaptability is really very key. Collaboration for strength and stability. We need to forge strong partnerships within the industry to create a supportive network and contribute to economic stability. Network is very key. I mean, we can go on and on and on about networking. We are not an island. I mean, you learn from everybody. Everybody that you meet today is ready to teach you or to direct you on something. We don't know it all. Let me put it that way. We can learn from everybody. Don't be too shy to ask a friend, oh, this thing that you are doing, how are you doing it? What you are buying, where are you sourcing it from? This particular thing, who is your plug for it, So networking is really very key. It's one of the key foundations for success as well. And of course, we've talked about innovation as the secret sauce. The innovation should be like the spice or the seasoning that you are putting, on the business. And so let's blend tradition with modern techniques to create a unique and memorable experience. And let's key into the global influence. Nigeria is really open to trying new things. We're open to exploring new things. Even our traditional meal, we're having to, infuse some things to make it even more globally acceptable. And we have to view challenges as opportunities. Do not give up. Every challenge that comes your way, look at it as an opportunity. Embrace the economic volatility as a chance for growth, innovation, and a refinement of your strategies. I mean, I remember one time, I think during the course of this year, when the price of tomato really went off the roof. And I was hearing some comments on social media of how you can use carrots as the base. I mean, please correct me. Is this possible? I've not tried it. I mean, so they said that instead of tomato, you can actually, blend carrot, and that can serve as the base of your soup. Please, I've not tried it. I said I'm going to try it. So you see that, I mean, in the face of the price of tomato going up, some people are being creative to use carrot as the base for their, and carrot, as you know, it's really very good. So imagine using carrot as the base for your soup, and the wow effect that you're going to get from it. Let's learn from our success stories. Let's draw inspiration from real life examples of businesses that have thrived by incorporating passion, adaptability, collaboration, and innovation. And of course, let's strive for resilience. See setbacks not as obstacles, but as an opportunity to strengthen and make your business stronger. Don't give up. A lot of businesses today, when they start small, they go through obstacles. No business started out with, I'm successful. There's always something to go through, to pass through, but you'd always learn from it. And let's forge our own unique path. Each of us has the potential to create a culinary masterpiece by combining your passion with adaptability, collaboration, and innovation. In conclusion, I see Kemi is already standing. The world of food is a dynamic and exciting realm where passion, adaptability, collaboration, and innovation form the pillar of success. As you cook up your own culinary dreams, which I know every one of us in this room, even if you are not doing it as a business, you are dreaming of that dinner, that lunch. So we are all, cooking up one culinary dream or the other. And so as you cook up your own culinary dream, draw inspiration from these examples that I've said and let your own unique flavor shine. I have full confidence that each one of you has the potential to create a culinary masterpiece. It might be in your business, it might be from your kitchen. Sometimes just allow madam to rest and be the one driving it, from the from the kitchen. But leave a lasting impression on the ever-evolving landscape of the food industry. Remember, the most delicious success stories are often born from the perfect blend of passion, creativity, and resilience. I encourage each one of you to view any challenge, economic volatility that we have today. Nigeria will be great again. We have it in us, and I'm optimistic that we'll all still come back to say, Nigeria, we thought it was finished, but we didn't know that you were coming back to be great again, and that shall be all our testimonies. And so, as opportunities to refine the strategies, innovate your offerings, and strengthen your connections within the industry. I talked about the power of networking. And the most resilient and successful businesses are those that can weather the storms and emerge stronger on the other side. Thank you for your attention, and I wish you a journey today filled with favorable victories and culinary pursuits. Thank you so much.
Thank you. She really did well. Carry on until she gets to her seat. That was a very, very beautiful one, and I learned a lot from everything she said. I mean, for those people in business, the cooking business, and for those in the eating business, I learned a whole lot from it, and it was quite beautiful. I mean, for example, there's the part where she mentioned networking. Now, take for example, I in the eating business, right? If I'm hungry and I don't know where to find food, and I'm talking to my friend, we're networking about where to find food, we're going to find food together. So that's a good thing. That's a very good one. Let's give her another round of applause. All right, now let's move to our next order of business, and that is the first panel. And this panel is going to be on healthy and sustainable culinary trends in Nigeria. Let's put our hands together for our first panelist, Chef Bukola Benson. Put your hands together, thank you. Carry on doing that, thank you. Now, Bukola Benson is a dynamic chef, hospitality entrepreneur, and kindness advocate with over 10 years of diverse experience in the hospitality and food industry. Now, she's also a business strategist committed to elevating service standards and championing sustainable food practices. Now, let's put our hands together for our next panelist today. That is Veronica Omotola. Carry on clapping until she gets on stage. Thank you. Now, she is a 30-year-old married graduate with a BSc in Business and Human Resource Management from West African Union University. She's also a certified baker and cake decorator. Now, beyond her academic achievements, she offers both online and on-site cake baking classes, which I'm hoping to attend for free, hopefully. All right, let's move to our next chef. I'm going to have a bit of a problem pronouncing his name. I start by apologizing. He is Chef Joseph Onchawati. I apologize. All right, let's put a hand up. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you. Now, he is an adept culinary expert with extensive experience in global organizations like Nestle, and presently serves as the research and development chef for Caraway Africa Nigeria Limited. Now, in this role, he spearheads product creation and improvement, collaborating with marketing and R&D production, creation and improvement, collaborating rather with marketing and the R&D center. Now, with over 10 years of hands-on experience, Chef Joseph excels in product innovation, shaping development directions, and refining prototypes. Let's give him another round of applause, please. Now, last but not the least, panelist for this panel is Amarachi Emeka Kalu. Let's give her a round of applause. Now, she is driven by a family love for food, embarked on a culinary journey, channeling 4 years of professional kitchen experience into her passion. Now, as a chef and food enthusiast, she founded Amlisa Kitchen on Instagram, transitioning into food blogging and selling delectable dishes in bowls for storage. Let's give her another round of applause, please. And to moderate this panel is our very own Olamide. Let's give her a round of applause. Thank you. Keep clapping until she's on stage. You can keep clapping now. You don't want to sit down.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Olamide Ologwagbe, and I work with Business Day. Good morning, gentlemen and ladies. You're welcome. And today we're looking at LD practices in the business. I know that we've been through a lot. And of course, like our keynote speaker said, the food industry has evolved over the years. And there are some things that are supposed to be standard regardless, and the taste with the quality. I think I'll start with Chef Joseph, the gentleman. Thank you. So having over 10 years experience, research and development as a chef, and bringing out different recipes, what do you think, or what ways can chef or restaurant owners incorporate the sustainability without reducing the taste and quality?
Okay, good morning and hello everyone. Okay, all right. So what I'll just put it like being a chef also before I move to food manufacturing. excuse me. First thing important is have a menu planning. It's proper, or planning your meals well. Because when you plan or you have a planned menu or meals, it helps you to control actually what you buy, so you don't necessarily actually purchase unnecessary ingredients. Apart from that, apart from planning, definitely now, and I'll take it from our keynote speaker, so what she said, of course, is to try as much as possible to use local ingredients as much as possible, because once you use local ingredients, also it also saves money. And I link it with also having to incorporate some of the what we call seasonal ingredients. And when you do like seasonal ingredients, also actually it saves you money as well, because when things are out of season, of course they are higher. So once you do that, what happens is also as a chef, you are more creative. So your creative flair burning is always there, because over the year you don't have the same menu. You tend to change your menu based on actually the seasonal ingredients or the available ingredients. And that. Should I speak more, or I can leave it for others? But maybe I can also add that as a chef, actually myself, if you come to my kitchen, actually I hate wastes. That's something I always tell all my team, that actually food wasting is a sin. So I always tell that. And I mean, in my culinary school, actually that was the first thing that I learned, that food wasting is a sin. So what I'm trying to say is have as much as possible a zero waste in your cooking. In other words, also use as much as you can in your ingredients. So I can give an example also, like if you're peeling maybe your carrots, for example, so I'll not throw those actually peelings away. Yeah? I can use them, with other things, like maybe stalks from other vegetables, boil them, and then also you can blend it, and you can have a nice mixed vegetable soup. So as much as possible, use all the ingredients that you have. I mean, I can also give another example. Like if you have your bone, like a meat with bones, you don't throw the bones away. You can use your bones actually to flavor your soup, or like make a stock out of it. So I think those are a few I can say from my end.
Thank you. Very insightful.
Thank you.
Thank you. My next question will go to Chef Bukola. Okay. Good morning, Ma. So my next question will be that we know that the food industry has evolved with taste included. I mean, so how do you think as the traditional cuisine adapted to incorporating sustainability in the present day?
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for having me on this panel. Thank you to Business Day for organizing this conference. So let me first of all start by saying Nigerian cuisine is probably one of the best in the world, and we need to embrace it more.
God bless that person. You get free plate of food.
There's nothing more wholesome than a pot of Nigerian food, be it a soup, be it a stew, be it a rice dish. There's everything in it. There's protein, you've got, herbs, you've got spices, you've got protein. So there's that wholesomeness in our Nigerian meals, and I think we need to, embrace it more, and then more importantly, preservation. There needs to be a lot of recipe preservation. There are certain things I grew up knowing or enjoying from my grandmother, things like adun. I can't remember some other ones now. Now, if I were to look for the recipe for those dishes, there's no way to find them. So when we talk about sustainability, we need to really look at information and preservation. There's nothing so bad in terms of taste and flavor of our meals. I mean, it could be adapted for sustainability uses in terms of providing healthy options, gluten-free options, which some people are doing. But what is important is to just, really look at preserving our ingredients, preserving our recipes, because that also creates sustainability for us. It creates, some sort of heritage that can be passed down from generation, to generation. And then from a health point of view, like the chef to my right mentioned, it's important to source locally. It's important to use, ingredients where they're in season. I remember when I got into culinary school, I think the first week, one of the first sort of sheets they gave us was a document that had all the produce in season, from winter to autumn to summer to spring. Now, there's nowhere I can get that information. Even when I go online and I search, okay, what's available January to March? I see certain things, I go into the market, it isn't available. So farmers need to work hand in hand with the culinary industry, with chefs, with restaurant owners, with food production companies, to make sure that we actually know what is in season. Now, this is Hamatan. Well, it's supposed to be Hamatan season. I know the weather has been a bit crazy this year. It's almost rained from January to this time. So we don't know what season it is now. And this is also back to, climate change. All of that also affects food production, which also goes back to sustainability. So we need to have up-to-date information as to what are farmers growing currently, what's in season. Once we have that information, so once the farmers are able to pass that information across to the chefs or the restaurants or the food production companies, we can now work with that information to produce meals that are sustainable, because first and foremost, we're using things that are in season. And then also adapting those ingredients for people that have some form of dietary restrictions. Nowadays, people want to eat healthier. And back again, Nigerian food, Nigerian cuisine is probably one of the most healthy in the world, like I said, because we use a lot of indigenous local spices. We must be careful not to feel like what people cook outside of the country is better than ours. It isn't. And that's something I love about the Indians. They have that sense of pride and ownership, when it comes to their food. And, there's a lot of attention now, lots of attention on us as a country, as a people. Thanks to Ilda Bachi with the Cookathon, she really puts Nigerian food on the global map. So anybody that wants to come into the country, wants to experience, any foreigner coming into the country doesn't want to come here and eat steak and chips or eat burgers or eat pizza. They want to experience what is local, what is unique, what is authentic to our Nigerian cuisine. So the more we're able to own all of these things, the more we're able to propagate our food, the more sustainable it is for both the farmers, both the chefs, both the restaurant owners. And I know a lot of companies are also adapting in terms of using healthy things to cook. I think lots of restaurants now are now changing from using the plastics to use the plantain leaves to make moi moi. There's a concern about carcinogenic properties that are found in those plastic materials when they are cooked or steamed. So I think for us to really drive this sustainability agenda and sort of move to a healthy place, there needs to be information. And then from information, we can also innovate. And I think that's very, very important. Going across, we need to have such information, particularly from the farmers, so that we create some sort of sustainable ecosystem where everybody involved in the value chain can work together to make that sustainability possible.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Information and innovation. Thank you very much. My next question will go to Veronica. Yeah. So, what has been your challenges when trying to promote LD and sustainable recipes? You're a baker, and of course, we're all trying to eat LD now, and you don't eat cake. There's plenty of that. What has been a major challenge in that?
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. First, I would like to say I'm really delighted to be here among these really great people. Thank you, Business Day. Thank you, beautiful and handsome panelists, for being here with me. I'm super excited about this. Thank you, Power Oil. Thank you so much. Okay, trying to sustain healthy cooking in Nigeria. I think there's something we need to recognize. There are some food that are the way they are because of what it is, right? So, first of all, starts with the ingredients and the produce, like we've all been hearing from the start. Let's not be quick to source for artificial ingredients when trying to continue or sustain our business. And this has everything to do with what has been said all morning. Working with farmers, knowing what's in season, because most times, like she rightly said, you think it's the season of something and you go to the market and you can't find it. But you can preserve. There's a way you can preserve some ingredient, especially if you know that you run a food business that runs like almost every day or every week. That means there are produce that you really use every time. You can work like what I do. I can't get into a market and not have the contact of every vendor. It's not possible. If I buy anything from you, I have your contact. And I will always ask you, before I go on to make a, a job, a production, a cooking, I will always call my vendors. What do we have in the market now? What is available? What can I do? What can I substitute? And this is where cooking is beautiful. When one ingredient isn't available, if you are a good cook, you can always substitute and still get that beautiful taste. In fact, if you don't tell someone that you did not use this, but you used this, they would not know. And you can still get it. So, what I'm trying to say is, while we are all excited and there is this trend right now, quick meal, fast meal, let's be careful because natural food go bad very fast. And people are so concerned, no, they don't want it because we need to stick to it because that's where our health is wealth. And what goes into our bodies isn't coming out. So we need to continually go for the right produce, fresh produce, cut down most of the artificial ingredients. If you keep going like this, because of course, if you check it, our foods, our dishes, they are made with natural ingredients. And so when you keep going this way, definitely your your meals, the taste can never change. Right? Like for me, right? When I started my business, it's not something I ever thought I would do. If you ever asked me, maybe my business is 6 years old now. I never thought I would be here and even doing it big time because I thought about some other things. But I saw a need. There was a time my mom is a caterer. My dad is a chef, very good. So I grew up in a house where I enjoy good food. So when I go out and I eat some kind of meals, sometimes I get irritated. My siblings, some of them don't eat out because they're wondering what's happening. So I saw a need to introduce that this thing can taste better. This can be done better. I started with chin chin. I was making chin chin. In fact, somebody named me Madam Chin Chin. I was making chin chin and I my chin chin was so unique that I made a whole lot of money. I can proudly say that. And it was cutting across so many places. And what I kept hearing is, oh, I didn't know it can be this good. So I'm like, that's what I saw that made me, I just felt, let me introduce this thing. There's a better way to do this thing. And when I went from chin chin, went into peanut butter, went into cooking meals, went into baking cakes. And it's a whole lot of spread. Right now I do everything. So long you're talking about food business, I do everything. So I run fast food, slow food, quick food, tomorrow food, everything food. I do that, yeah. So I just saw a need that there's a way we can do this thing. So sometimes when I even see how people cook, or maybe how people don't know how to preserve to get what they want for later, I come in. When I go to the market and I'm buying something, and then I have someone talking beside me, oh, but the thing is, if I buy this thing now, it go bad, and I need it for next tomorrow, I'll just be quick to tell you, all right, do you know you can do it this way, and you can still get it this way. Or you can just get this person's number, tell him his very first supply for that day can be yours, even if you live far. You can get it, and they're like, thank you so much. And that's how I was able to also grow like a contact across so many people, because now they reach out to me and like, hey, please, I want to do this. How do you think I can go about it? How do you think, do you have a vendor? Can you help me out? So coming back to keeping our food healthy and not making anything affect how it's being produced, even in this time and day, it is possible. And that is what makes us unique. I loved it when she said that we have the richest culture. Yes, I was going to say that. Nigeria food has, I've been opportunity to go to South Africa, to Ghana, to Rwanda, and they are funny experiences because I had to tell someone that was coming, please buy me pepper. Please buy me seasoning, because I don't know what these people are doing here. So when I get my food, I take the food, Me, I have my own ingredient. I'm going to rearrange the food. Then it is so when you taste my food, it might not be the same with what you're eating, but we order the same thing. So we have a very rich culture. Let's not be fast to say that, oh, they're doing it this way, and that's why it is this culture that is driving them to come. And so we need to keep it alive. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And my next question will go to Amarachi. You are transitioning into food blogging. Now, what do you think are the innovations, or what are the new things, new trends that you would see in the food business to ensure that there is sustainability in them? Let me rephrase. So what I mean is that transitioning into food blogging is a different nature on its own, but of course you will see in such industry.
Right, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Business Day, for having me. I really do appreciate. So, I'll start by saying, if you are coming to food blogging, if you're talking about food blogging, it's challenging. So, I must say that it's challenging this day because you have to think about a lot of sophisticated, dishes. If you want a mentor or somebody you look up to, you should be thinking of Diary of a Kitchen Lover because she have a lot of good things, sophisticated dishes, sophisticated machines that make this blogging a lot easier. So it's kind of challenges, but you can still make it better because people actually don't, when you look at food, you look at my eyes see it first, right? When I serve you a food now, your eyes will feed first before you even think of testing this food. So I will start with. Okay, I'll start with my own challenges. I was making one that I was making. I think that was jollof rice. It was an outdoor um, kind of program. The kind of shows I got during that period, meanwhile I was starting, I was like, am I really called to do this? Yeah, am I really called to do this? Because I got depressed. I said, but I'm just trying to be real here. But people watching the socials, they don't want to know. They just want to see you doing it better, doing it good. Okay, why are you using this? This is unhealthy. This is this. So these are the challenges we face. And also, if you want to start up maybe food blogging, I think you should also, because food blogging have gone from just doing recipe, you have to have a niche. Because 1,001 people are on Instagram doing the same thing, and you have to have a niche. If you check, there is this girl called J5. Yeah, I don't know if anybody know J5 cooks. Yes, she's into food blogging. It's not that she went to a culinary school or that, but because of the way her editing is, the way she does her thing, it's just, I saw that girl grow from 5,000 to almost 150 followers now, just within a month. Because of the way she does her editing, I was even telling myself, I'm into this thing. I'm even here before this girl. How come? Yeah, how come? But you have to think of a niche. Think of what you would do different to attract people for you to really succeed in that food blogging thing. And also, don't just use anyhow. Maybe you want to use a pot, you just use the olden part of pot. I know there are some people that if you want to talk about food blogging too, there are this Baptist kitchen or something. Yes, he's into traditional food. That we know that okay, this is your own niche, and we understand that. But if you call yourself a food blogger and you are not into the traditional part of it. Yes, sometimes we do the traditional way, the traditional stuff, but we know you as you are not into this traditional thing. You have to look for something that will really bring audience to your page for you to really strive on this journey of food blogging. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So my final question and is to everybody. So what would you say to a young person or anybody that is trying to come into this industry but also want to promote healthy and sustainable practice? Who will go first? Okay.
Okay, so for a young person, okay, I also do mentors who young chefs upcoming. So one of the things, first of all, I always tell them in this industry, I always tell them, no pain, no gain. So because sometimes young chefs upcoming, they come and say maybe because of their father or their relative is successful as a chef, so he just thinks it's an easy way also going there. So one thing is no pain, no gain. Nevertheless, also important is the creativity also. So you have that room to be creative. But now linking it to the healthy aspect of it also is also encouraging nowadays maybe to chef to have that environmentally or healthy, cautious, approach into into the cooking or preparing the food. Also, I've seen there have been some courses, programs that someone can enroll, like environmentally cautious chef courses, programs, or there is also these from farm to table, so if they can also enroll in those, they can do that. Creativity is very key, and sometimes it gives me I like to share maybe one of the experience that was back when I was a chef, sous chef back in Switzerland. We had a theme, night, and then one of the dishes was seafood fried rice. So it was also one young chef, these interns, so there's some. So as a fried rice, normally what you do is also you pre-boil it first, to a certain 70%, cool it down so that you can do the finishing. But apparently, and time was going fast, we have to get set up. The rice was overboiled, he overboiled it like this. So, all those language you can only speak in the kitchen back in there. We did that. But we have to sort it out. We have to, So what we did, what do we do now? No time. So we went ahead. We just fried the rice, but it was soggy. So quickly, we changed the dish menu, and call it soggy fried rice. And when the guests were coming out, they're like, wow, the food, the Europeans, that food, the rice was so good. Actually, it came out, and we actually maintained it in our menu, actually, yeah. So the young guy who was down now, he became a hero, actually now. Yeah, so there's some kind of creativity. And actually, we adopted it into our menu, but of course, we altered it a little bit, but it was out of a mistake or something that we came out. So we give a room for creativity into this aspect of it. What else? Yeah, our keynote speakers talked about networking. So the chef's networking is very key also. And then also networking also with the same like-minded kind of chefs, both locally and internationally. So I think that's from my side. I can also hand over to the rest. Thank you.
Thank you. So yeah, this is just a testament to the fact that chefs don't make mistakes; they make new recipes. It's a saying. So yes. So I would like to say this is a very, very good time to get into food and beverage or hospitality, because there's a lot of awareness. There's a lot of sort of the glamorous side of being a chef. All of that is there now, which is making it a very, very attractive industry. when I started, I remember when I came up and, I would go to, people would ask me, what do you do? I'll be like, oh, I'm in hospitality. They're like, oh, you work in a hospital. I'll say, no, it's completely different. So now anybody trying to get into the food space, it's a really, really good time. First and foremost, you need to be true with yourself. You need to ask those hard questions. Do you have a passion for it? Why do you want to get into it? It is not, when you start off, it is not the most lucrative industry. Most people that get into food and hospitality, it's because it's a calling, it's a passion, it's something that, it's a fire that burns in at the bottomest parts of their tummy, and they express that fire through food, through the smiles on the faces of their guests. So if all of those things are not, you're not getting all of those things, then it's probably the wrong industry for you to get into. But if it is your calling, then you also want to get educated. So you want to know what it takes to be a chef, what it takes to be, a food blogger. You also need to find out what area you want to get into. So hospitality is quite a wide industry. Same thing with the food and beverage space. So you need to know, how do you want to start? Where do you want to start? Do you want to work front of house? Do you want to work back of house? All of that. So education is very, very important. And nowadays, there's no information that you want that you can get online. So you really need to, get yourself, and also ask people that, mentors, how do they start their journey? How do they get into it? And I think for people like us that have been in the industry, I think we need to do sort of more of mentoring people, more of sharing our experiences, letting people know that it's not as rosy or as glamorous as it is. We've all been burnt, and I mean literally and physically in the kitchen. So let them know that it's not as easy as it looks, but it is worth everything if it's your passion. And also throw yourself out there to opportunities. I remember, it's so good that Nestle is here, because you're actually part of my beginning, you're part of my journey. I remember right out of secondary school, while I was waiting to get into uni, you used to do the Maggie cooking competition at the time, and I saw it in the papers, and I was like, oh my God, should I not? And I just, and then you had called for recipes using pawpaw and using Gary. That was the theme for that year's cooking competition, and I applied. And I remember every day I would go and be checking the post box to see whether, I'd got. And this day I saw the letter from Maggie that you accepted my recipe and you've been invited to come for the cooking competition. And I was so, so excited. And we had to go to Ilorin. That was where the competition was. And I had a chaperone then, Auntie Rose Amoju. I don't know if she's still with Nestle. So she was a chaperone then. I did not win. I cried my eyes out that day. I was so angry, so upset. But I think I came third in the zonal competition. But what that does for you, it also helps with your confidence. It puts you out there. You also get to meet other people that's in the same culinary path as you are. So so avoid yourself to opportunities, whether it's cooking competitions, whether it's cooking shows. Even platforms like this is also very good. Get to know more about the business side of food business. Because passion is one thing, the business is also another thing. Passion would not sustain you. Passion would not put food on your table. You also need to learn the business part of the food business. Oftentimes, chefs were so knee deep into the passion that we forget the money part of it. So it's good for you to, maybe if you have a partner, you can see the food and all they see is money. That is a good combination for success and sustainability for your business. And then, like I said, networking, collaborating, all of that is very, very important. Empower yourself with knowledge, empower yourself with skills, and yes, the sky is big enough for everybody to soar. So yes, that's it.
Okay, good morning once again. So I'll come from, as a food blogger that I am, though I didn't start off as a food blogger, I started as just somebody that wants to is a passion. First of all, I would say cooking is a passion. You have to have passion for it. In fact, you have to make it a hobby for you to excel, because it's a thing that is very stressful. And when there is no hobby there, you can't even go anywhere. So it's something that you have to really love to do. Like as I am now, even if you wake me in the middle of the night and say, come and cook, So first there is light, I will cook. So that is it. You have to have the passion for it. So as a food blogger, going into it, it was difficult. It was challenging because I will have to spend money. I'll put the food out there. Maybe I'll just have 2 like, 3 like. And this is something that I spend money doing. I would go to the kitchen, video, because I was the one doing it alone. So I'll video 5 hours, 6 hours. I'm in the kitchen filming. And at the end of the day, I'll put it out there. Maybe I'll just get 2 likes, 3 likes, 20 views. I was doing it for months. I was like, am I even called to do this? So you have to be consistent. But even in the midst of all of that, I was consistent. I was doing it. I would put it out there. Not to a point that I just stopped for a while. I stopped, but along the line, I picked up myself again and started. So one day, I think the thing that I got visibility from was jollof rice. Yes, it was this our Nigerian jollof rice. I made jollof rice, but I filmed from markets to processing to washing my chicken, all of that. I filmed everything and I put it out there. And the views, like, it was wow. So what I'm saying is you have to be consistent on whatever thing you are doing. And also try and register for classes, cooking classes, videographers classes, content classes, to actually know how these socials work, to know how to really focus on, because I did it. I know how many classes I registered to be where I am today. I registered a lot and I learned a lot and I started putting them into practice, and to God be the glory, we are there. At least today, I am able to write proposal to food brands and they will give me content to do and I get paid for it. So when you are doing such thing, you will see that you don't even need to showcase yourself. People will reach out to you. Brands will reach out to you. Oh, okay, let me give you this power oil. What can we do with it? What content can we do with it? Is it going to bring us audience? Now, then when you create those contents, you will see that people will like it. It's everyday thing. Everybody is using power oil today. Like, it's a normal thing in Nigeria to use oil to cook. But maybe from the way you pour that oil and you're editing, people will be like, wow, look at the way this oil is just entering the pot. Yes. Or you flip your hand like this and the next thing you see is pepper. You do like this, the next thing, you know the editing, how you are doing those things. Cooking is creative, it's very creative. It's large. So it just depends on how you are able to do your own. Today they throw onions up before it land, it have scattered. Yes. You will be like, oh wow. I saw one food blogger, he went to the market, got chicken, fowl. He threw it up and it landed in her kitchen. It's editing. So these are things that people will see and will be like, oh wow, how is this happening? So you need to really learn and unlearn how to really edit all of this, to really like break through in your journey. And also about creativity also, when they say chefs don't make mistake, yeah. I remember working in a restaurant, that was CBN restaurant those days. A chef made, what was it called? He wanted to make jollof rice, and he now poured spaghetti into that jollof rice, into the base of that jollof rice, and it was kind of watery. And they named it pepper soup spaghetti, or pepper soup pasta. And we just added a lot of pepper, and everybody, it became a menu. Like, we changed it to something that we do regularly then. So people started ordering for it. When they come, where is that pepper soup pasta? But this was a mistake that turned to something else. So you just have to keep going, keep doing what you know how to do, just keep improving yourself, keep registering for classes, just do a lot. With time, you just see yourself. Because me, I didn't know that I was going to be where I am today. And it doesn't matter wherever you are, even if it's a small kitchen, just let it be neat and do your video. People will like it. Be creative about it. People will like it. And you start getting whatever you wish for in this culinary business. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, I just wanted to say that find your passion. I know everyone is saying passion, passion, passion. And someone might be saying, what is this passion? I think I like food. Is that enough passion? No, it's not enough passion to be in the business of cooking. It's a lot. It is one thing to cook for one person. It's another to cook for 3 people. It's another to cook for 10. It's another to cook for 100. So, passion is that thing that keeps you awake. Now, if I'm in a bad mood and I have a cooking to do, I will be happy because cooking is, I think, after my salvation, Jesus Christ, I think cooking is my life. I'd be very happy. And my siblings know it. My parents used to say when I was younger, when they're cooking in the kitchen, I sing and dance. And so even till now, when I'm cooking and I know this food is going to be a hit, I am very happy. So there is this side of you that you just know that you know that you know that this is what you want to do. Because you will have losses. You will have critics. You will have bad days. You will also have good days. You will make money. But in all of this, would you be able to pick up yourself again when somebody says, after I made a cake one day and I kept it overnight, of course, done decorating 2-tier back then. And in the morning I was going to deliver it and I woke up to see that the cake has collapsed. The 2-tier cake with 3 layers each, if you know cake, has collapsed. And the delivery, I was supposed to go to church. It was a Sunday delivery. And then just after service, my husband drives me and I go to deliver it. And then I had to skip church. I was both crying and I was both anxious. I had to go back. This is Sunday now. Everybody is not open, of course. And so I don't have enough materials to cover up that cake again. But I sourced for ingredients again. And now more expensive. I already lost profits. The person that owns the cake doesn't know what is going on. And there was a roll-up money in the cake of over 100,000 that the husband said to put in the top tier of the cake. Now, I had short time. Because the cake collapsed, and up till now, I don't know why that cake collapsed. After all my research, because it's not my first time, and I did everything absolutely right. I had to make that cake in 2 different parts. Now, it's 2-tier initially, but I had to deliver it separately. This and this. And so I made this very glamorous, and then I made this simple and classic. And that was the one that had the money. And so when I got there, the husband wasn't there. I told her, oh, you okay? She was like, oh, I have 2 cakes. I had other things that came with the cakes, like a box with gifts, shoes, bags, and all of that. I packed all of that too. And so I went straight to tell her that, you know what, you need to pull up this thing, because I know there was money there. I needed to give her a very good countenance for that cake before her husband comes to see that he ordered a 2-tier cake, but there are 2 separate cakes. And so she rolled up the money. She was screaming. Meanwhile, I was texting the husband. I'm on my way to the delivery. I was late also because the cake collapsed. And she was pulling the money. The husband was in the room. Meanwhile, I already told the husband I was on my way. He said he was not around, but he was in the room. So when he was pulling the money, she was pulling the money, she was excited. Her friends were there, they were happy. And so the husband came out. Anyway, men, they know how to manage situations more than women. Thank you so much. He was not so keen. He was looking, this cake is supposed to be higher. He noticed there was another cake. But because of the excitement of the wife was already overexcited. There was plenty money, there was gifts, and I made up with some other chops. So he just later sent me a message that, the cake, did you bring 2 cake? I said, yes. I thought making it 2 would be better. All right. But it went well, but only me know, and some of my family I sent that picture to at that time know what I went through. So there will be good days. There will be bad days. In fact, a lot of things will happen. It is your passion. Also, find your niche. You cannot do everything. If you have the strength to do everything, go on and do everything. Like I said before, I make snacks, I do cake, I cook, I do small chops. This past weekend, I made shawarma, fresh juice, small chops platter. I deliver. If you call me for the food, but there are some things I don't do. I'd get someone that do it very well and then bring it to that person, because There is a way things are supposed to be presented that can be at its best. Don't take the job and mess it up. The person won't come back. So find your niche. Find your niche. Like our esteemed Ma rightly said, Puff Puff now. I know someone on TikTok that they call themselves Puff Puff Ministry. When I saw what they were doing with Puff, I had to call my younger sister. She's a fashion designer. She made what I'm wearing. And I said, come and see Puff Puff. Cinnamon, milkshake, this one, that one. And I'm like, Puff Puff. Meanwhile, you're here trying to introduce 1,000,001 recipe to people to tell them that you can do it. Google invited those people to come and have a Puff Puff masterclass because they had a niche. They had a niche. So look for your niche. If you have the grace for everything, go for it, the strength. Collaboration is important. You cannot cook for 100 people alone. You will crash. And you have to know how to manage ingredients for 5 people and manage ingredients for 100 people. If you have not done it before, you might most likely waste ingredients. I am talking from experience that I was given a job to do and I bought the ingredients in excess and cooked in excess, delivered the food, and I had over like 5 pints of cooked rice remaining, and now I became Santa Claus. I was giving out to everyone around. So this is what you learn on the job, but if you had someone that can tell you the right measurement to go in to do that, you would save those ingredients and you will make money. And so find your passion. Don't envy those that are up there. They had a beginning. And this is your beginning. This is your story. It's what's going to make it unique. When you get there, you will also tell your story. Like she was talking about Diary of a Kitchen Lover. That lady's kitchen is worth millions. I can't compare my kitchen to hers. And she didn't start yesterday. So you cannot just say, right now, I want to get the trending butcher mix in all varieties. How much is in your account? All right? So, but you need to start. But while you are there, you are looking at where you're going to. And while you are going there, you are true to your passion. Be true. Another thing, do not compromise quality. Those that know quality will pay for it. When you say, oh, this person can't afford it, let me reduce it. That person might be the one that will go and tell your big clients that, look at what this person made for me. Don't compromise quality. If you can't pull it through for that amount, let it go. The person that is going to pay for your service, pay for your value, is going to come and will value you and will refer you. So with this, anyone that's ready to go into this business, take it and run with it. Thank you so much.
I think we have come to the end of this panel session, and I'm sure we learned a whole lot. Innovation, creativity, and just know your niche. Thank you.
All right, that was a very, very beautiful session, and I learned a whole lot. I'll tell you this. I learned a whole lot from being true to yourself to making sure that you know what you're capable of and making sure to stick with your passion. That is quite beautiful. Let's give them another round of applause, please. All right, while that is going on, kindly move forward. I know I said this at the beginning, but I see that some people are spread around differently. If there's an empty seat in front of you, kindly cover it up. Thank you very much. I'm looking at you in the eye directly. I see you seeing me. Please move forward. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it. And also, during the panel discussion, I heard several phones ringing. Please put your phone on silent so that you do not distract both the panelists and people around. Thank you very, very much. Please, let's put our hands together again. I'm quite sure you learned a lot, because I did too. I know, speaking about the cooking business, both the cooking business, I know they are talking about the cooking business because they've had a lot of experience in it. While I will continue talking about the eating business because I have had a lot of years in that business, I tell you, it's not been easy, you know, having to taste and try out different food that you're not even sure about. But then we do not give up. We continue with our eating. Thank you very much. Now let's move on to the next thing on our list, and that is a presentation, and that will be done by Chef Joseph Matwetwe. I'm hoping that I'm correct with that pronunciation this time around. Thank you. Let's give him a round of applause.
Okay, so I thought maybe we bring it to a different angle of this. So I just wanted to maybe share with you, like maybe from a research and development chef approach, where how we develop products, but now interacting with the nutrition, since our theme now, like here, it has been the healthy and sustainability of this. So to start with, I'll just maybe share now. I'll just approach it from the category point of view. So we have like now here, we have the cooking solutions where we have a product like this is Tasty Tom Jollof Mix. Then we have the tomato mix category where we have two Tasty Tom and also Derica. And then we also have this other side where we have noodles, instant noodles. That is cherry, that is pepper soup, chicken pepper soup, and also super chicken. Now, let's talk about this Tasty Tom. I'm sure you're more familiar with these. Some of you are using it. Going into the nutrition, of course, here, of course, it's made from freshest tomatoes. And, of course, I'm trying to highlight here where it's enriched with the vitamins A, D, E, and K. Talking about what it does, of course, it gives you good color of your dish, gives you good texture, and of course, a delicious meal. And then available in 60 grams, 210 grams, and 400 grams. And of course, we are planning to launch a 1.1 kg of this, which is coming soon. Next, Derica. I'm sure you're familiar with this. We also developed that. And Derica, of course, this was relaunched into the Nigerian market back in 2012. And then what is it about this? Of course, is a heritage. I believe you all know, okay, I interact a lot with the market. They mention even when they do jollof rice, they always measure the rice. They say with one Derica, they use one Derica. You know, that's what I've seen in the markets or where I visit the homes. Of course, it's made from the best of the quality selected tomatoes. Same thing here, good color, gives you texture and all in your dishes. And then, of course, it stands out from the rest of this tomato category paste. It's also enriched with fiber, vitamin A, D, E, and K. It's only available in 60-gram pack size. Then now, I take you to jollof mix. I don't know if you've have you come across this? Yes, so what is this? So of course, this is a unique blend of products. So as a chef, a research and development chef, the job is like how did we develop this product? Looking across Nigeria, we do what we call home immersions. You know, we do a lot of home immersions. And based on this, so like for example, I can give you, we visited 40 homes across Nigeria. So we split in the north, you know, like Kano, Lagos, Port Harcourt. So here as a chef, I had 40 different recipes. So you know when you observe how she cooks or he cooks, you take measurement of all ingredients as she cooks. So you just observe and then record. So back in my kitchen, I have 40 different recipes. I need to develop what is called a good standard recipe. So what kind of one recipe that can cut across Nigeria? So in this thing here, we narrow down to these common ingredients. Definitely people add different ingredients, but now you come down and just take what cuts across. You know, there are other ingredients, of course, which we didn't add. A consumer will always add, or the customer. So this product, the main base is the tomato paste. Then now we added the curries, thyme, ginger, garlic, onion. It's available, of course, in 60 gram, 210 gram, and 1.1 kilo of that. All right, let's say, okay. So this was developed And of course, it has pepper, which I missed out that to mention that. What are the benefits, of course, of this? It saves you time. How is it? Let me give you an example, a simple, common example. If you look at it in a traditional way, we can also cook faster than this, but on average, the homes that we visited, on average, it was up to 150 minutes, because we were recording, timing it. So I'll explain that much better. Then the tasty tom that you've seen, it's up to 45 minutes. So that's saving you time. Why? Because I'll go to the next one, where the traditional way, the main ingredients are, of course, the rice, the oil, and all, plus now these other ingredients that I mentioned. And when you look at this product now, it has all those other ingredients in that pack. So what's happening here? I'm saving you from washing, all those individual ingredients like the peppers, removing the shaft of the garlic and all these things. That's what makes up to 150 minutes that we timed there. So another thing is just a simple kind of what do you call process. Four steps. First of all, heat up your oil. For example, is it power oil? Then once you heat it up, then you fry the paste for 4 minutes. That's when you're doing 1 derica of rice. Then after that, you add your oil, broth or water, then you do the seasoning, and then cook your rice, add the rice, and then we timed it. It can even go lesser depending on the type of rice you're using, but on average, it's up to 45 minutes of cooking. So as I said, you'll always get the same authentic color and taste of your jollof and all rice. Then I will just go quick again here about saving money. And I know sometimes we look at it and we talk about nutrition also aspect of this. I want to eat a healthy food, but sometimes I go to the market, then I skip to buy some ingredients because they are expensive. So I compromise my, quality or end dish. I was supposed to use about 3 onions, but in the market it's expensive, so I cut it down to 1. I wanted to use my tatache or rodo. I decided to skip it out, cut it off because it's expensive, and all these things. But what I'm trying to look at it here, we did this, this is quite old, maybe just this for illustration or purpose only. But you look at those ingredients and the amount, you look from the onion side up to the garlic, all those things, you cut them off because they're already in this product. So at the end of it, you kind of save 520 naira, this for example, because you have cut off all those things. Anyway, I'll not go much into details. We talked about the noodles, which is also developed to suit the Nigerian palate. It's also has a unique differentiated taste and appeals to children and adults at the same time. The cherry chicken pepper soup, of course, also it is it's also unique in its own way, and is also developed to suit the Nigerian palate, and is also important, is enriched with vitamin A and iron. Now, I'll just rush here to just give you an introduction or background of the product. So I want to link now a role as an R&D chef now. How do I interact with nutrition? Yeah. So first of all, our mission, or rather our vision here, of course, is to delight and surprise the West African consumer with delicious and nourishing food at every eating occasion, and of course that fits their pockets. So in line with this, what we want to do here, we want at the same time when we develop a product, it has to be delicious, but important is nutritionally sound. As I mentioned, we have been enriching it with the vitamins and all other nutrients that are required. So it's all about fortifying our products with essential micros and micronutrients. Like, for example, I mentioned vitamins A, D, and K, and of course, reduce salt contents to recommended WHO intake. So we take all this into consideration when developing our products. Then, how is nutrition key to our business? And as I mentioned there, it's a lot about the food habits. Our lifestyle is very key, where it largely influences what to eat. It's key here, better nutrition, health, wellness, and then, of course, It's all about this well-being of us as human beings. And then, of course, here, when depending on your lifestyle, of course, it will always at the end of it give you a sense of confidence, which allows you to strive for excellence, and of course setting a higher goals, and then also making, as an individual, you make economic progress as a healthy population, living longer and more engaged, focused, productive, and saving money. So I'd like to mention also about how the food habits that contribute to people eating better. I'll talk about the goodness of cooking and how to combine ingredients and finding time to cook. When you cook, you get involved with different ingredients, or interact with different ingredients. At the end of it, it also gives you the cautious that I use these kind of ingredients, which are more nutritious or not nutritious. You have more control as an individual when you are involved in the cooking part of it. And then, as I mentioned there, you're fully controlled with the quality, as one of our panelists mentioned, and then quantity and nutritional value of the ingredients that you are using. Again here, goodness of eating together. Likely, it's going to give you good eating habits as a family. And then also, as parents who have also children, you have a better control of what your children are eating when you encourage the goodness of eating together. And of course, to the opportunity to transmit the concept of eating well, and then also everybody accepts a healthy diet at the end of it. Then the importance of one's involvement in cooking is also key to these food habits. Lastly, right, maybe someone wanted to capture that. We want to look at the main deficiencies that when we develop products, and maybe looking at Nigeria, for example, we look at what are the main opportunities and the nutritional deficiency and excesses that we have. So we look at it, especially with the micronutrient deficiencies. So we've found out that there's iron deficiency, iodine, vitamin A, zinc deficiencies. This is prevalent not only in developing countries, but also in developed countries. And because of these deficiencies at the end of it will result into risk factors for many diseases. So once we have understanding on these, when we develop our products, of course, we look into that aspect of it. And then I know when we do diet, sometimes taste is very important. I've seen sometimes maybe people are on diet, they want to cut off some other things, and then at the end of it, the food is not tasty, like maybe you want to do maybe only salad, but you're cutting off maybe a salad dressing, so when you cut off the salad dressing, it's not tastier, so how can I still have a balanced diet or that salad with a nutritional, considered salad dressing? So at the end of it, it's important for us to look at how people can enjoy their food, a balanced food, but which is more enjoyable. So we look at it as a taste is a major role or key in this context, So what we have found is that consumers are increasingly seeking new food experiences with tastes, with the tastes and health being at the heart of it and all. Yeah? So this translates to us also when we develop the products, we keep this in mind. And then as you see here, our culinary product brands, we've developed them in a unique way, in a way that will enhance a good food experience. First of all, with respect to simply good ingredients for individuals and families, and then also simply good nutrition, simply good nurturing, and simply good environment. So these are all 4 factors that we also look into when we develop our products. Lastly, I like to say this. When you see a product, sometimes here, this is inside the pack. So you find inside the pack, you want to put more goodies, and outside the pack is also less of those others. So we are challenged when we develop products. We develop products aiming at reducing the amount of food that has components. For example, if overconsumed can have a negative impact on health. For example, salt, maybe saturated fatty acids and all these things. So we look at that. At the same time, when we develop the products, we look at what other negative ingredients that consumers have negative perception. Like I heard you mentioning artificial ingredients, and all this. We also look into that we ensure that we have natural ingredients into the product. So those are the things that we always look at. So when you look at that image in our product, as much as possible, we increase the goodness, coming from wholesome ingredients and of course, which are natural, and then that's also we fortify our products with the significant, the penetration and frequency in markets. Like for example, with Nigeria, we look at those micronutrient deficiencies and we fortify our products. Then we're looking out, now I was talking about inside the pack. Outside the pack now, what are we doing here? We always want to emphasize that nutrition cannot be achieved by our products. Maybe our keynote speaker is not here, maybe she will also mention about maybe using Maggi. Also, like for example, seasoning. It's not we don't, we always tell the consumers, don't expect our products to be the only source, like, to deliver nutrition. So what happens in here, we want to partner, we want you to have best ingredients that you can use to cook, and then, to cook and then combine with our products. So we, at the end of it, we want to encourage healthy behavior that you can adopt to support. We want to support you in the journey of cooking and also eating healthy. And then, of course, we do also a lot of cooking education, cooking programs, where health aspect is also factored in that. And then, of course, we want to help our consumers or our customers as much as possible, that we partner with you in the cooking aspect of it. So at the end of it, there, where I would like to say, we create good food moments through helping everyone, our consumers, to prepare or eat tasty and balanced meals every day. Thank you so much for your attention. I'm sorry I tried to go faster, but I was just trying to, So that's how we actually interact with nutrition with our products. Thank you for the time.
Thank you very much for that. And I'm quite sure from every single thing going on here, I'm quite sure you're learning one or two or more things from that. Now, before we move on to our next agenda on this list, which happens to be the panel 2, I would like to take a poll. Yeah, there's something I've noticed. We've had only one male chef so far, so good. But I would like to ask you a question. In your opinion, who do you think is a better chef, men or women? Well, you're not even allowing me land. Wow. So we're sticking with men. Does that mean that we're changing our minds on people talking about how women's place is in the kitchen? Is that what we're saying? Okay.
Probably late nights or energy-wise, but it's not who is a better chef. Anybody can be a good chef. It doesn't have to do with gender.
Please, let's give her a round of applause. Now, from what she has said, it does not matter whether you're male or female. Anybody can be a good chef. Let me tell you, I'm a very great chef. From what my mouth has tasted, I cannot really stand on other people's opinions. But yeah, I'm a very great chef because I love to eat, right? And not just that. One thing that was said in panel 1 is that eating starts from your eyes. And that is one thing I have learned. My siblings sometimes get tired of me because if the plate is not good, if the spoon is not fine enough, I would not be able to eat that food. It's not like anything. But I feel like no matter what it is you're doing, no matter what business you're into, you should first of all start with your aesthetics. Aesthetics is everything, and that is where people get their impression from. Before you even start speaking, before the food even hits their mouth, their eyes see it first. So let's start with that. All right, let's move on to our next agenda, and that is panel 2. And they're going to be talking about challenges in Nigerian cooking business. Now, for those people that are just coming in, this is Business Day's Cooking Up Business with the theme for this year, our first edition, that is. The theme for this year is From Home Kitchens to Culinary Experience, or rather empires, my bad. I'll take that again. The theme, cooking up business, from home kitchens to culinary empires. Now, to moderate this second panel is Mr. Tammy. Please, let's give him a round of applause. All right, now for our panelists, our first panel is Sharon. I'm hoping that I do not scatter this name. Enyeribe Sharon. Is that correct? All right, that's great. Let's give him a round of applause. Now, he's the CEO of Sharon Foods, and he boasts of over 17 years of expertise in the hospitality industry, recognized for his advanced finger food signatures and mastery of crafting delicious African and intercontinental dishes. He has served prominent clients such as Ultima Foods, UFM, Exton Research Institute, and the Nigeria Medical Association. Please, let's give him another round of applause. Now, for our second panelist, his name is Ete Assam. Is he available here? Okay, let's give him a round of applause, please. Now, Ete is affectionately known as Chef Ete and has been the driving force behind the enduring success of Ete's barbecue and cocktail for an impressive 22 years. Evolving from humble beginnings, Ete has become a culinary powerhouse specializing in mouth-watering barbecue, finger foods, and cocktails. Let's give him another round of applause, please. All right, the third panelist on our list is Betty Harry of the Pepper Soup Shop. Now, she is called the Pepper Soup Queen. Let's give her a round of applause, please. Our Betty Harry's dynamic journey unfolds from TV personality roles at Silverbird and Star Times to becoming the revered queen of pepper soup in the culinary world. Now, beyond television, she passionately curates menus, creates unique food experiences, and develops her secret spice. Now, her culinary venture, the Pepper Soup Shop, the Pepper Soup, host an eagerly anticipated annual festival. And yes, our keynote speaker mentioned the Pepper Soup festival that happens every year, and I'm looking forward to attending and eating a lot that day. All right, let's give her a round of applause, please. Please clap like you actually mean it. Thank you. The last but not the least on our list is Anita Agu, who is CEO of Nita Sense Kitchen. Please, let's give her a round of applause. Now, she is a graduate of Reddish Chronicles, bringing 6 years of professional cooking expertise to her culinary ventures. Beyond her culinary skills, she served as the hype queen for Hilda Bassi's Cookathon, a Guinness World Record event. Now, she's married and accomplished in the art of cooking. Her role as the hype queen showcased her ability to elevate culinary experiences. Now, just so you know, it's not just about eating. Sometimes you need somebody to hype the whole activity of both cooking and eating. And that's exactly where she comes in. So let's give her another round of applause. All together, let's give our panel a round of applause, please. Clap like you mean it. Thank you.
Thank you, Kemi. Yeah. So you can still hold it. Means you get the first question. You know, the citations of everyone have been read, and I'm feeling somehow mine wasn't. I'm a very good cook too, especially with Gary. And I brew something. It's called Karak Masala. Oh, it's elite. All right, so Yeah, well, I eat it. I eat it.
We need to find out.
Okay, but Chef Ete knows about it. Yeah? Not the car, okay. Well, you know one half. Well, it's good. All right, all right. So, we've been talking about the cooking, and now we are going to talk about the business of it. So, it's the cooking business. And the first thing that comes to my mind, I go to a lot of cooking festivals, and, that was one of the places I found Chef Ete for the first time. Yeah, I enjoyed his barbecue. So, I would like to ask, how can a business, you've been cooking for a while and you are now going into the business of it. You want to scale. You've been selling maybe at home, but you want to make it bigger. How easy is it to get into the business by getting funding, It's not family and friends anymore. You want to move forward, real institutional funding. How easy it is? How easy is it? And let's start from that. I would like to hear from Sharon first.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Good to have you guys here. I'm happy to be here also. Thank you very much, Business Day, for organizing this. I think we should just give a round of applause to Business Day. And then to our sponsors, do feel a round of applause for them. I am appreciating them because people coming up to bring you off stage and allow you get a platform to explain what you do is a huge one. For those of us that know what social media is, we can brand all what we are doing here and tell everybody that we shut down Oriental Hotel. And they will fall for it. So it's a good one you are doing. You're helping us grow. We really appreciate you very much. So for your question, what method can we use to scale? First is that
To get financing mainly.
Get financing. The first is that to get something, you must first know what you want to get. And that's when the financial literacy comes to play. You must know what it is to finance your food business. Financing a normal organization is different from financing a food business because people know that you will likely sell. Yes, they are sure. They know that if your food is good, you have high patronage. But they want to know how you manage your resources. And that's why, as the person, as an individual in your house, the team is from home kitchen to a business empire. In your house where you are running your normal food, do you have a record? Do you know about cash flow? Do you have a profit and loss analysis for your business? Do you have any tax protocol? Do you have any bookkeeping in whatever manner? If you have that, you can go to a sponsor and say, this has been my sale for this year. This was what I made last year. And I think this business is profitable. Invest in my business. The truth is, the way we are in this part of the world, it looks like things don't work, but things really work. Our blogger was talking some while ago that she interacts with big businesses. The truth is, if she didn't take a step from where she was, nobody will be coming to her right now. Nobody will be telling her, come and advertise for our company or our product. So you need to have that book. You need to have that book showing that this is what you've been doing. And then you can pitch about it and say, there's something we do in Ultima Studio. Lions Den. I don't know who watches Lions Den on Ultima Studio.
I know Lions Den.
You come and pitch whatever you want to do. And treat don't get sponsored. They just need a little stake in what you do. So have a record of what you are doing. If you're interested in going to food business, have a record. The second one is that because the market is very volatile, people don't want to invest in something that can grow wings tomorrow. Money is very, very funny. So the advice I can give anybody trying to expand is to understand and venture into a form of education, even if a very small one, on financial analysis. You can have a little knowledge of how you can borrow, have a little knowledge of how you can finance that project, have a little knowledge of how you can market yourself, and then hopefully they give you the resources you need, and then you can kick off. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sharon. That was nice. Okay, now you have told us in 2 steps how we can get financing. But what are some of the barriers to this? You know, yes, it's easy as you said it, but are there barriers? Would you like to go, Betty? Barriers to getting financing.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you guys so much for having me here. I'm very much honored. Thank you for this platform. So for me, basically, I understand that because I'm coming from a place where I tell a lot of people that my business currently is thriving because of my story. And correctly speaking, you have to figure out a niche for yourself in business. And a lot of the times, what I notice is a lot of people just get into businesses. This food business, there's a lot of food vendors out there. And you have to figure out what is unique to yourself. And if there's a way that you're marketing your product or whatever, like you have to find out that, okay, this is a unique pattern that I want to use to market my products, and create that niche for yourself and tell a story. So basically for me, I have been able to, I remember when I first started my business, I basically was living in a 1-room apartment, and it was literally just me and my cam gas just by my bedside cooking. And then I went from there to basically moving. So I didn't go from there to like a full-on restaurant. I went from that 1-room apartment and my cam gas cooking back beside my bed to like a 1-bedroom apartment, 1-bedroom flat. So you can see the gradual growth. And that is something that a lot of people take for granted. A lot of people just want to, oh, I'm starting something now. I just want to make it big. I just want to make it big. There's a lot of flashy things out there on social media, and you just need to figure out how you can create a niche for yourself. And then I've noticed that on my social media, what I was able to do again was I was able to tell a story. So it wasn't as though you're seeing me today and then you're seeing like a flashy business tomorrow. So basically, it's like a gradual process, and it's like I'm carrying my followers, my customers on a journey. So they are watching me grow. They are seeing literally every single thing that I'm doing. So I feel like one of the barriers that we face, or people would face generally, is the number one barrier is yourself, to be honest. Like, having to limit yourself is like one of the biggest barriers, because you have to first of all know that this is what you want to do, figure out how you can be unique in that thing that you're doing, and just basically start and just, do you understand? So that's like one of the barriers that I know. Then another barrier is, I think he kind of touched a little bit of it, is like the regular illiteracy. So like, you have to be financially literate. Basically, you have to literally be financial literate, because there's a lot of opportunities out there, but because you're not financially literate, you would not know them. So it's very important that when you want to venture into this sort of business, you're financial literate and you are open-minded to things like this. You're literally able to navigate yourself and figure out what you want and not want to be like everybody else. So
Thank you.
thank you.
Chefete, you want to weigh in on that, including solutions, how one can surmount such barriers?
Well, for me, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for this platform, Business Day. For me, I don't know where to start from, because I've never had a financial barrier. Why I say so is that I started my business with 2,500 22 years ago. So I really don't know the opportunities people have now, because when I started with just a carton of chicken. So you can imagine how much a carton of chicken was 22 years ago, and how much a carton of chickens is now. I started in school, so it gave me a bigger platform. I was selling to my colleagues, I was selling to my students in the hostel, and word of mouth moves really fast before social media came. And as she said, we progressed. After school, most of my mates were captains of industries, and so they remembered. So, okay, I used to know this guy. Do you still cater? Do you do this? So I really didn't have that going to seek for fundings. I started little by little, from one friend to another, who introduced me to his uncle that is a senator, who we catered for, ended up cooking for the governor. So it was just, I won't say the road was not rough, it was, but I've never really seek for fundings before.
Yours was quite organic, so to
Yes,
speak.
yes.
It grew from
Yeah,
bottom.
here we are.
Thank you. You want to weigh in on that? All right.
I think on a broader view, I think I love your miracle, right? Because right now, people are seeing shege when it comes to funding, because regulations are just too much. They're overweighing. First is that the import and export regulation is overbearing.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Don't go
Right.
there yet.
All right. So then recently, maybe if you're under Lagos State, the waste management law they've been enacting has been so tough that some of us have to go back to training on how to handle what we've been handling for years. And the truth is, they come to teach you what you already know, but you have to pass that test. So I think those are things that are hindering for normal people that are starting up. Imagine you're a startup in your house, like when my startup was starting up, and someone is telling you to pay a 75,000 naira cost for just a 2 hour. You're going to feel bad. Like, where we get that kind of money? But those are stuff that are hindering some entrepreneurs from growing.
Okay.
And one last one. The problem with food business is not a very large one. It's simple, but as simple as it is very, very destructive. And that's the ignorant part of it. The ignorance part of it. You must know what you are doing. Food handling is not a joke. If you are with the big guys and you are working with big companies like Tasty Tom, their processing tells you that you have to be careful with food. Dealing with sausages, there are things called, microorganisms called Clostridium botulinum that can kill people. When you're opening a restaurant, you must put that into consideration. Not just that you can cook, you must specify all those things. Thank you.
Okay, so let's just let's go on to that regulatory issues. You know, we have hit it and we have to continue hitting it. So you have mentioned waste management. Let's dig deeper into other regulatory hurdles you have to face and how you surmount them.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Anita Agu. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to see everyone here. Okay, we're still talking of barriers, right?
We have gone to hurdles now, regulatory hurdles that you face.
Okay, right now I don't have a restaurant, but
Okay.
I know I tried getting one that was 2 years ago, and the bills were just too much. Like, what I heard them say, the NEPA bill, the Agbero, so many things came.
Oh, you
and-
still have to pay for Agbero
Yes,
as
yes,
restaurant.
so
I would like to hear some more about
yes,
that.
Yes, yes. I remember when I went there to pay, what they told me was really, really disheartening. And I just said, please let me just continue where I am first. Maybe when I get to that stage, I'll continue. But that's one of the major barriers. Like me, I still work from home because I do more of catering. I do more for events.
Okay.
Like I know I just handled one for the Oba of Shongote, do more than 3,000 guests. And we're just like 4 caterers, and it was a whole lot. Imagine cooking 2 cows. It was too much for us. Like, but we didn't have a choice. They say as a chef, you must cook, even if you are tired, you must keep cooking till everybody's satisfied. So we made sure we did our best. So I still work from home, and trust me, it's really a blessing to me because I know if I'm out, I know how much I will still be paying compared to when I'm just paying just my rent. So
I
I'm
get
not envying those outside. Trust me. I think I still like my home cooking, but we'll get there someday. So when we want to
Yeah.
get there, maybe we'll now do it very big instead of starting maybe from a small place that's too many disturbances over there. But like she said, she started from one room. Same applied to. I just said my space was not enough. We needed to move. At a time, you even know that where you are is too small for your equipment. Because if you are using a one gas before, because of the number of clients you have built, you need to get more cooking equipment. And so your one room will not contain you anymore. So with time, when you build that clientele base, that's one of the major things I think you need to learn as a good cook or a good caterer or a good chef. Please, before you go into something very big, make sure your clientele base is very large. Don't have two customers and say you want to go and open a big restaurant. Even if you will get customers, they might just come because of that very first vibe and just run away when they see another new restaurant. So if you have your clientele base that have been with you for a while, they've worked with you, they've tasted your food, they will be the ones to even be telling people about you, like what Chef Ete said. You don't even need to do too much. If you can satisfy like at least 1,000 people or less than 500, those people will spread your news to other people. And those other people will still keep spreading your news. So just keep your quality in check. Keep everything you do. Your excellence should be perfect. Like when I tested pepper soup shop, I was like, she's really the pepper soup queen. Like, there's no argument. She did try for that aspect. And so just know what you can. Like me, I do more of events. I like the big parties. I like, give me 10 bags of rice. Let's cook.
Oh.
Give me this. Like, I don't like those, come and cook 1 liter of food. If they annoy me, I'll just tell my workers, please handle. But when it comes to the events, I really like to handle events. I love to handle events. I love all your workers, you know what to do. Then when it comes to the main cooking, I don't compromise that. So when you know your niche, I think people will take up from there from you. So just know what you can do. Know your strengths. That's one of the basics. Know your strengths. If you are good with this, please really focus on this. Don't over diversify and say you can do everything. There are so many people that can do everything. But if you can do one and you are good at that, trust me, you will go very high.
Thank you very much, Anita. Yeah, so we will still dig deeper into the hurdles. You know, you've mentioned certain barriers. I would like to hear more about the black tax that is associated, because when you mentioned that Agbero would collect certain things, I think that is black tax in the cooking business.
Yes.
So how does, let's expand it, how does collaboration help you to surmount these hurdles or regulatory hurdles? So let's talk some more about it. Does anyone want to weigh in on that? Sharon?
I'm blessed. I've tasted both sides. Like what the key speaker said, you know, there are some key cities, and I started my business not from key city, but a calm town, Calabar, and I've grown to come to Lagos, and there's money here. So, like what she said, you know, because I now have a takeout in Calabar. I have a place. You know, you see all sorts of people coming, like the black tax you just said. Now, these people come as local government, but they are not local governments. They carry cards, they tell you, they wear badges that you have to pay so levy, dustbin levy, smoke levy, noise levy, all kinds of levies.
So who are they if they are not the local government?
Let me, now that's where I was going to. So I had to make inquiries, and I found out that politics, for some people who they need to settle, they give them some portfolios that, okay, go source for this money. And all these guys are their footmen. If you don't catch people, you don't get paid. So they come out with all kinds of things. They tell you they didn't sweep the gutter has extended to somebody. They just bring out all kinds of levies, and it's really tasking because IRS, LIRS, FIRS, SON,
you said Lasra, you still have to
NAVDAC, everybody is coming. Everybody just wants that piece of cake from just that small business. And I think the environment, the government is not helping, because I remember during COVID in America, they were giving out money to restaurants to start, but our own, they want to take from us. They feel we make too much, not knowing that, forgetting the part that the market is not being fair to us too. And you know, the burden is at the end users. Those are the people that something that would have made for like 2,500 is now going for 10,500, going for 12,500, because we need to put all these things into consequence, because after all this tax, where do we get money to pay and where do we get money to restock? So it's been a big hurdle for us.
Thank you very much, Efete. Betty, you want to talk about this too? How these regulations, how are you people now coming together? Are you collaborating? In the first panel, I heard that collaboration is key. So how are you coming together to surmount this, or you're just groaning under the weight of the regulation? Is that what we're doing here?
Honestly, I haven't tried to collaborate with anyone. I haven't necessarily tried to collaborate with anybody, and I know that, okay, so my restaurant is basically 5 months old, and I just started, and I know that they've come for me twice.
Tell us about it.
I know that they've come, but not the black tax guys.
This is the white. This is the white one. Tell us about it.
So I know they've come for me twice, and the ones that came for me were like the regular people that would come and do the food regulations and whatnot.
Okay.
And basically they would want to find something, no matter how neat your kitchen is. They can take off their white shirt and wipe the floor, and if it's stained, yeah, you will pay for it. So basically, yeah. So fortunately for me, I wasn't. Maybe because the things that they found were things they wanted to find. So it was like, okay, settle us, that kind of thing. So they would always want to look at that settle us parts. But I haven't really faced like.
So you settled. Well. Camera, don't record this. So you settled. Don't worry. Yeah. All right.
So yeah, I think maybe if we sort of come together and figure out how to navigate it, because it looks like a lot of these things are affecting, like the regulatory bodies are affecting us. So maybe if we came together, maybe we can, but I don't think there's anybody like that.
Okay. So do you have a union, Sharon? Is there a union of food business?
They are union, but they have different umbrellas.
Okay.
They are working on that. There are people that are just National Institute of Food Safety practitioners, that NAPSPIA. There are others that are just vendors association. They are on Instagram and some other stuff. But the truth is, there's no umbrella head that is overseeing everybody. So the truth is, the food industry, we are not that organized. We are not collaborating. And that's why you should give it to people like Business Day for looking for a way to bring in Tasty Tom and Dufil, two competitors in the same setting. I think it's a good one. So we need to collaborate more, because if you don't collaborate, they will hit you. The government are not giving policies that are helping us thrive. The government policies are overbearing. If you have a new product, some of you saw when the very tall dark man was trolling Jenny's Glow. Some of you saw that stuff. Because Jenny Glow had to use one patent, NAFDAC patent number to register all her products. And you can't blame her. Because to get a NAFDAC registration, you pay through your nose. And you have to settle and settle and settle. And they will give you a NAFDAC number for just one product. Will you have to wait another full year to get another one for you? To get, so it's hard. So those kind of regulations government are giving, they are overbearing on food vendors. The tax on food is too much. It's too volatile. You might quote for a food product now. You go to the market, and you mean, please, can I return your money? Because you run at a loss. some of us that we think we are big boys that we can cover up. We don't return customers' money. We run it. How much is it? At most 15K you add on it. You keep customers. When you do it 4-5 times, the next person you tell them, please, I'm not doing it. Because right now you are now doing your business for free. Those tax needs to be. Someone needs to. I don't know. Business they can really help us. Tell the government that we are dying. That's the truth. It's not like we are dying because these stuff are just volatile. I'll tell you for free. Carton of turkey is over 50,000 naira now. Turkey. So when you come to my house, for example, and you want to say hello to me, I'll give you malt. Before, last 2 years, you can come on, because these things are overbearing. The waste management people come and take a toll on you. The NAFDAC registration people come and take a toll on you. The import and export, you want to export your product, they come and take a toll on you. You have, what they call it, nepotism also having its play. People are asking you why you are employing Igbos in your kitchen. And the truth is, there's some food that you must employ people from that core. If you have an Abula setting, Amala, you can't employ Igbo guys to come and work there. They don't know about it so much. You can't involve an Hausa person in a Calabar kitchen so much. But these are stuff we face, and we need regulation, we need collaboration. So please, Business Day, we really like you to just help us. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. Please, you want to weigh in on that?
Okay,
Please, go ahead.
talking
Then
of-
after your comments, we'd like to take questions, yes.
Okay, talking of collaborations, I think one good thing, like as a chef, you have so many friends that are chefs. That's for sure. Okay, someone like me, I think recently reason that I have over 20 friends that are into the same business as I am, and I'm a sucker for collaborations over competitions. So I opened the WhatsApp group, and I brought all my chef friends together. We are all on the WhatsApp group. I think we are like 40 something right now. So when I have an event, I can just say, who is available? I'm cooking for this person. Is anybody free? And you see like 10 of them, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh. I'm coming. Oh. I go chop rice. Oh. Thank God. Make I even learn your skill. And you see them coming to join you and coming to assist you. So you are not in competition with anybody. You are collaborating with your fellow chefs. And you see them coming around. They join you before you even tell them to do it, because they know what to do. They are on it with you. They are joining you to do the slicing. Even if you have other people working with you that you are paying, you see your fellow chefs joining you. 2 days ago, that's on Friday, I had my event. I had my fest, because I'm planning to do something very big very soon. So I just wanted to start very small, and I did a food fest, and it's like, just come and eat. I just invited people from everywhere. Just come, eat, test my food, so that when I start monetizing it, you will pay.
When are you doing the next one?
Next
The free
month,
one?
yes. It was a big event. I just did it very, not so big, but just did it very small. And I invited like 50 people to come around, yes. So there was lots to eat. There was rice, jollof, fried, Chinese rice, shawarma, burger. Everything was there. So I just started it that way. And most of my friends came around. Some came, they baked cake for me. Some came, they did zobo. Some came, they did puff puff. They just came to support me. Some people gave me money. Even if I reached out to some brands and they were like, nah, we really don't know much about you. Maybe your next event. Like so many brands I reached out to. But I had personal support. But I know maybe when I bring out the catalog for this first one, when I send it out to brands, I think maybe they'll want to key into it. So it's just something I'm starting. I'm just talking basically on collaborations. We can collaborate with our fellow partners. Like I know Betty's event is coming up and I will be a vendor. She doesn't even need to tell me. I will come and sell my pepper soup there also. So we need to collaborate. We don't need to see our fellow people as competition, because you cannot cook for the whole of Lagos, and that's the truth. Lagos is big, Lagos is wide, and there's so many dynamics when it comes to cooking. So you can have, let me deal on small chops, let me deal on this, let me deal on that. Like I said, I prefer to deal on events. I like to cook for mostly events than the normal regular cooking.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
Collaborations over competition any day, anytime.
Thank you very much, Anita. So you have actually taken a step towards galvanizing the industry. You said you have a WhatsApp group.
Yes, we are over 45 on that
so
WhatsApp group.
Are there other group? Chef Sharon, do you know about other group, or are you in Anita's group?
No, no, I'm just visiting
Chef
him.
Ete, do you have barbecue group?
I went to that group, sir.
Aha, you should. Okay.
All right, so yeah, you get
All right. All right. So let's before we go on, Anita already answered one of my last two questions. That is, what are some of the success stories? And bringing them together on a WhatsApp group is a first step in having a group in
Yes.
itself. So thank you very much. So let me take questions from the audience now. I'm sure that we've been talking about these regulations. We've talked about cash flow as one of the key ways to scale your business and all. Are there questions from the audience on some of these things, observations too, or suggestions? Okay, while we wait for people to ask a question, please, Betty. Okay then, can you help me get the mic to her?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chef Kele. Regards collaboration and competition, I just wanted to buttress your point. It is very important to leverage on collaboration in any business, especially in the food industry. Okay, so I cater, I'm into food, I'm also a mixologist, I also do small chops. But there are days when it's a bit overwhelming. So I was saying to her that just last month I had a big event to cater for, people, but I couldn't do it alone. So I called on fellow chefs to say, oh, please, who is available to help? And she's here. She's also a chef. And, she came through with orders, and we pulled it, and it was seamless.
Good.
So it's not about competition, because like you said, Lagos is big. You cannot cater for everyone. You cannot do it alone. There's a whole lot to do. So if you can pull your resources together, especially people, not just, physical. you
Human
need people,
resource.
human resources is very essential to prosper. Regards, then also associations. Like you said, you said Kappa just now. It is essential to be a member of different associations. As far as, it makes sense. I'm a member of Kappa. I'm a member of the Association of Food Professional Service Providers, Association of Professional Chefs. It's been amazing because every time you're stuck,
There's someone there.
there's someone to help you, out of whatever it is you're facing. So yes, collaboration over competition every time. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. So my name is Kende Anitihai, and I have a catering outfit. My question is, okay, I saw this theme from home kitchens to culinary empires, and that's what attracted me to this conference, because right now I cook from home, my kitchen in my flat, and then sometimes we have to use the compound. And I started off by cooking bowls, trays of food, and then boom. There was, I had events, 200, 100, 150. There was a time I had 800. It comes in like that. And I know that this is no longer sustainable. And I've been saying I want to move into my own space, get into a bigger space. And I came here today and from other people and this regulation thing and all the challenges. So I'm like, should we, so what's the solution? Should we move into the space to a larger space to say we want to scale, or we should keep, staying in our small kitchens, disturbing neighbors and all that? So I'm in a bit of a dilemma, like hearing all this. So what's the way forward? I hope my question is clear.
Yes, I think the question is clear. So let's get all the let's get all the questions and then we answer it. Yeah. So let's go to him.
Thank you very much. standing on existing protocol. Yinka Adebayo is the name. I think I just want to add to the word that we've been saying, collaboration, collaboration is the name of language globally. But I dare say that collaboration goes beyond just setting up the WhatsApp group. You see, in life, if you don't know where you are going, anywhere you reach is home. So we need to be purposeful, we need to be intentional, we need to be deliberate. First is to ask ourselves, what do we want at the group? You mentioned something about policy, running and counting against you. Why don't we find a way to be part of that policy? The policy makers. You can't only influence what you are into. Yes, I've had the challenge you've thrown at Business Day. The only thing that Business Day can do for you is probably to open the door. How you move in is only yours. And interestingly, because you guys work in a sector that controls many of the things that we do, if you don't have it inside, you cannot give it outside. If that is what you feed, you just mentioned about cooking or providing catering services to governors and all of that. Those are policy makers. When we go into such gatherings, what do we do of it? Do we just feed them and let them go? Is a way to hold them to tax, to say, here, we are feeding you here. This is what we need, this is what we need you to, and there, they'll give you their listing here. They can make things happen to you. Because really, your network is actually your network. Thank you.
Chefete, you are going to do something about that. Okay, thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Osaiti. I'm known as a food-based doctor. I'm really honored to be here this afternoon. First of all, I want to say a big round of applause for everybody in the food space. I think thank you very much. I think we seriously underestimate the hustle, the stress, the sleepless nights, the headaches that food business owners go through every day. I always say that you have to clap for yourselves if nobody else is clapping for you. And I thank Business Day for putting this conference together. What got me excited when this panel came forward was challenges in the food business. And I just want to say that 3 weeks, and with all of you sitting there would agree that it's not enough to talk about challenges here in Nigeria. So I want to just leave us by saying that he's mentioned something about being intentional and never stop. Because unfortunately, I wish I could say the challenges will stop. It's not going to stop. As you are dealing with, where do you want to start? From staffing, to procurement, to product authenticity, to seasonal variability, to logistics, to food safety, name it, to branding, dealing with social media, you're not posting enough, you're posting too little. So the challenges will always be there. And I just want to encourage everybody in the food space to keep at it. But let us take a challenge from this gathering today, because somebody said we are not even organized. Can we take something away from this gathering and say, what do we need to do to start getting organized from the people gathered here? I think we're already well over, 50, 100 people here? Let's talk about it, because nobody's going to fight this battle for us. Nobody's going to hear our cry and be sympathetic enough to do what needs to be done. We have to fight this battle and make successes out of it. So like I said to end my speech, I think we should take it upon ourselves. Maybe this is another forum, maybe this is another WhatsApp group. So that again, like he said, let's be intentional about really bringing change to this industry, because everybody is talking about food. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The food business witch doctor? Food biz doctor, okay. Okay, I heard witch doctor in my head because you actually took the last line from my notes, so I thought it was witch doctor. All right, now, so you still want to answer her question before we go on to the end of this panel? She's asking if she should move out of the house and start a big place or stay at home. Keep disturbing the neighbors. As long as it is with good aromas, why not? Why not? All right.
Okay, so something I live by, if it's not scaring you, it's not big enough. And the fact that we've probably spoken about the regulatory bodies, they are human beings. It's not that big a deal, to be honest. And it's something that you can be able to navigate rather. So basically, I would categorically state that because of this should not deter from what you want to do for yourself and for the growth of your business. If you know within yourself that you've gotten to the level where you need to scale up and you need to move ahead or move to the next phase of your life, I mean, by all means, to be honest, depends on your business model. So are you getting a space to start a fast food business, or you're getting a space to do the same thing that you're doing as regards the deliveries that you're still doing? If that's the case, then if you're still very much comfortable in your compound and you're good, then fine. But if you want to have like a full-on restaurant where people can come and eat, then yes. But if you're trying to move from where you are to like another building and do the same thing that you're doing, but you think, okay, because I'm getting more orders from people, as long as it's still orders that is still going out, I feel like you should sort of look at it again, because that's you paying like rent in two different places. And again, it's still boils down to you looking at your business model and what you want for yourself. And this should not deter from like what you want to do as well. So by all means, you should, yes. And then to add to to add to the conversation around the what's it called, merging forces, I feel like a lot of the times we business people, we're too scared to ask for help. And that's one thing that we need to actually face. Asking for help doesn't make you less of anything. Asking for help is very, very important. And also introducing yourself to the right people as well. I think as he rightly mentioned, like we basically have times when we cook for a lot of people and people of good value, dignitaries and everything. And how do you market yourself? How do you sell yourself? For instance, when I meet you for the first time, I would say, hi. Hi, my name is Betty Harry. I make the best pepper soup in the world. Now, that's usually my catchphrase when I'm talking to anybody that I'm just meeting for the first time. And basically what that does is it captivates you. Like, you probably even start like, who told you make the best pepper soup? My mother makes the best pepper soup. Do you understand? So I get things like that all the time. But like, you need to always, we fear to sell our markets. We are afraid to sell our market sometimes, and that's what we need to learn to do more. So sell yourself, sell your market. The people that you're serving food to, talk to them about your ideas, talk to them. I am having a pepper soup festival. I mean, who would have thought like 2 years ago that I would be here planning a whole food festival? I started it last year, and it's a festival that basically brings food vendors, food entrepreneurs together and giving them a platform, and we're just having so much fun. Because I mean, pepper soup for me is more than just a broth. Pepper soup is a lifestyle. One way or the other in our lives, in your life, you probably taking pepper soup either when you're sick or when a woman just gave birth and her mom is making her a special meal, or when the guys are watching the match with beer and what's it called in their hand. I mean, it always goes. So I mean, I'm like, why don't we have a day where we celebrate this dish and basically bring different food vendors, food entrepreneurs together? And that's a platform that I started, and I'm like, okay, so this will be a platform for other vendors to actually come and make sales and meet people. And because of the food business that I'm in, the kind of clientele that come for my festival, I've been opportune to meet certain people, and I'm never afraid to like talk to them about my business, talk to them about my festival that is going on, and yeah.
Yeah, so I think it is also time to talk to them about policies that affect your business now.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, this is, okay?
I would like to answer a question. Well, I started from the hostel. I started with 2 coolers. I had roommates. Before I knew it, I started buying plates. Before I knew it, they threw me out. So where am I going? You started cooking from your kitchen. Most of us started from kitchens and everything. It's just unfortunate that we don't have what they have abroad. They have cooking space. They have kitchens where you could go, prep up, you cook, and you leave. And you just pay for that space. It's just unfortunate we don't have that. But if I would advise you, you're growing. And this our business. Okay, let me not use. Okay, let me say this our business in Lagos. Too many showmanship. You need to buy plates that are from, you know. So you won't have space to keep it, except your husband wants to leave your bedroom for you to pack things. You need to get a bigger space. There's no way about it. Maybe you start from your family that has a bigger space. You could build something behind, you know. Because when I started, we started from the house. My books are here, my cooking books, my spices are here, the pots in the parlor. Then when you come to my house, you don't even know which is which. Is the living room or the kitchen, you know. But over time, we just found out that we have to move out, you know, get a bigger space, set up something, because there's no vacuum. You're growing. You can't continue to cook for 10. When I started cooking for, and I said, I started with 2.5. If a carton of chicken was 2.5, I could remember, and it has 40 inside. Now it's sold for, and has how many inside? Chicken, and has many inside. Then the other one. I bet you, where those cartons are coming from never had 20 inside.
What happened?
That's where we're going. I bet you, because from day one, when I started, it was 40 and well laid. But now when you buy a carton, it's scattered, you know. So that's, economy has, I don't want to call the name, but economy has played into it. So let's leave it like, so madam, for your own kind of setting, what kind of food do you cook? You need a bigger space. You need a bigger space. It's just unfortunate, like I said, we don't have kitchens where we can prep, cook, you pay, and you leave. And you know, abroad, their kitchen is so easy. They have people who deliver wares. They have people who deliver chairs, you know, everything. But here, because, like we said, collaboration has not gotten to that level. Everybody's afraid. I borrow you my tureen. Tomorrow, one leg is off, and it's sorry. So,
okay.
We are in an economy where you have to get everything yourself. So making the business harder and more, how will I put it? The entry is not favorable. You know, when I remembered when my friends came to Nigeria, pit masters, you know, and they wanted to braai, the ones from South Africa, and they said they wanted brisket. I said, okay, there's no brisket here. When we kill, now we go back to that way. When we kill our cows, and we don't have butchers who can bring out those cuts. Everything is the same. Cut pieces, it, you know, plus kanda, everything goes. And you know, when we were cooking, we had to talk. You know, they say you people eat leather. I said yes, it's part of our delicacy. How, you know, and our cows are not. I was hearing someone talking about. You spoke about from farm. From farm. Yeah, from farm to plate. It's very, very challenging in Nigeria. I must be sincere, because our cow has been walking from Nasarawa to here. By the time it gets here, it's lean and everything, and the meat is tough. You know, people at times when I barbecue a whole cow and they come, it's hard. I said, look, those things you see on Food Network is not what we have here. From the nutrition of the cow, from the way the cow is killed. I was playing a documentary for someone. Before they kill the sheep, they play them symphonies, they play them shooting songs, they play them instrumentals. That's an animal that you're going to kill to calm them. And you know, and the way we kill our own, we just brutalize them, cut the neck, leave it dead, they struggle. All that struggling, the adrenaline is making the meat tough. Exactly. So when you go to parties and you say, okay, you don't know how to cook, your meat is hard. It's hard. There are lots of rules. Like them abroad don't eat 30-year-old cows. They eat, cows are just growing and everything.
Chef, I'll have to stop you
No,
here,
no
but
problem, sir.
I can assure you that we'll be having an interview with Chef after this, and so you can go to www.youtube Business Day YouTube channel, and you will find all you want to hear from Chef. We are not letting him go with all those things. So, ladies and gentlemen, as a journalist, we hardly see the very beginning of a story, but we can prepare for it. Here today on this panel, we are all privileged to see the beginning or to perceive the beginning of something. That is the beginning of collaboration to surmount the hurdles, the regulatory hurdles in food business. So, I'll urge you all to keep your eyes on these people, and we all will watch them as they make this happen in Nigeria, and all of us would have been part of history. Thank you for being here today.
Please, let's give them a round of applause. Now, for those people that are just coming, kindly note that this is Business Day's Cooking Up Business. And this is the first of its kind. This is the first edition of this Cooking Up Business. I'm quite sure every other year we're going to continually have. And I'm looking forward to seeing your beautiful faces for each and every one of our next editions. I'd like to call up our editor as well as Chief Sales Marketing Officer to please make it up, be part of the picture. Thank you. Thank you very much. Please, can you give them a round of applause as they return to their seats? Now, let me tell you a secret, or let me give you a little bit of insight. In this room here, there's a gathering of a lot of chefs that will make your mouth and your stomach wonder what's beauty. Now, if you know what's best for you, you can get their contacts. You can find a way to reach out to them, liaise with them, and, of course, buy into their businesses. Now let's move on to the next thing on our list, and that is going to be a speech from Kijiofor Samuel. He's the head of BTL Power Oil Duffel Prima Foods Limited. Please let's give him a round of applause. Now, one thing you should know about Samuel is that he's a trained economist from AAU and has served as the health camp coordinator for Power Oil from 2019 to 2021, providing free basic medical care to over 1 million Nigerians across 20 states. Please, let's give him another round of applause.
Thank you so much, moderator. Good afternoon, everyone. Once again, my name is Samuel Ojoyifo, and I'm from Nigeria's #1 and most healthy brand of cooking oil. And today we are here to show you what we've been doing and what we are into and how we've been adding value to the nation as a whole through our various activities. Okay, my moderator asked a question earlier. She asked who the better cook is, whether the male or the female. And most people believe the females. Some actually believe the male. I happened to live in Australia at the time, and I noticed that most of the kitchens I visited, you have the male, you have men as their chef. Most of them have men as their chef. And then even when I visit their homes, I see the men cooking. Currently, we are doing something with Lagos State Ministry of Domestic Violence, Sexual, and all that. And they call this thing men with sabi. And from their own argument, they are saying that one of the things that causes domestic violence in the family is actually food. So most men come home and say, where's my food? I'm supposed to have my food. Somebody's supposed to cook for me. That's what they believe. But then, I happen to be a cook. I won't rate myself as the best cook, but at least I can cook something to eat. And when I get home and my wife have not made, her food, made the food, I'm happy to enter the kitchen and do something. Just mix something up and eat, And that makes our family happy because, we know how to manage each other. So men also can cook. So it's not just the women's responsibility like we have in this nation, where many men feel the woman is supposed to cook. No, men also can cook. Okay, I have my slide up here. Thank you so much. So I've been asked to talk about healthy cooking. Thank you. And I'll be talking about promoting healthy lifestyle to improve heart health in Nigeria. As a brand, Power Oil, we stand for healthy hearts. Healthy hearts. And we believe that one of the ways to achieve a healthy nation is through the diet. World Health Organization has noted 3 things that are pertinent to a healthy heart or a healthy family. The number 1 thing is said to be rest. We all need adequate rest of about 8 hours a day. So if you live in Lagos, I'm sure you don't, observe that. You hardly observe that in Lagos. But then also, we have to go on to the next one, which is exercise. How long do you spend exercising? 30 minutes a day, you're supposed to exercise. How many of us exercise that regularly? And then also, the last one, and the most important one, is said to be diet, 80%. If you want to live long, mind what you eat. If you take tea out of diet, what do you have? Let me crack your brain a bit. If you take tea out of diet, what do you have? Diet, thank you. Okay, so good. Diet is very essential, and that's why we are concerned about Nigerians and what we consume. Because in this country, people are not concerned, not too bothered about what they consume. And this impacts on our life expectancy in Nigeria. It's very low due to what we consume in this country. If you go to developed countries, they have 70-something, 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 80-something. But in Nigeria, it's about 50-something, 55. Not good. So one of the reasons is because of what we consume. We are not conscious about what we consume. Healthy consumption is very important if we want to live long and if we want to run or have a healthy nation. So I'll be talking about loose oil. Loose oil. So loose oil is also called unbranded oil. Unbranded oil. It is called unbranded because it doesn't have name. You cannot trace it. It doesn't have expiry date. It doesn't have source. You cannot tell anything about this oil. You just find it in the market and you just buy it and take it home. Some of them are even expired oil that they, pour into these, loose containers, into these ever bottles and all that. And people buy them. And it's not hygienic because the bottles most time they just pick them from somewhere and just shake, wash a bit and then pour the oil into it. And which is not, which renders it unfit for consumption. But most Nigerians are not aware of this. And that was why when Power Oil came into the market in 2013, we're very concerned about this. We're not just looking for a brand to bring into the market, we're also looking for a solution to the loose oil problem in Nigeria. And that's why we came in with Power Oil, triple refined, best quality oil in the market. Okay, so I'll be looking at these questions. How aware are Nigerians about the consumption, about consumers, about the potential health risks associated with loose oil? What are the common misconceptions? And we'll also be looking at what challenges the consumers face in assessing accurate information about harmful effect of loose oil. Let me go to the next one. A background to loose oil in Nigeria. Yeah, we have vegetable oil is an essential commodity. In Nigeria, vegetable oil is an essential commodity. Everybody cooks with vegetable oil. And that is why NAFDAC, when they were looking for at the time how to reach out to people with nutrients, especially vitamin A, they mandated the oil companies, cooking oil companies, to fortify their oil with vitamin A, so that we also will fortify our oil with vitamin A. But this loose oil out there, they are not fortified with all this. They just smuggle them into this country sometimes. Some of them are produced locally and not well produced. And it's just, there. People consume what they don't actually know. The sources of oil palm, or the sources include oil palm. We have rapeseed, soy oil, sunflower, and others, as you can see. Now, several reports indicate that a mix of smuggled, we have smuggled oil, and some are also domestically produced in Nigeria. So some are being smuggled into Nigeria, while others are being produced in the country. And even in Nigeria, where it is being produced, the the way it is being produced most times, the handling and all that makes it really unfit for consumption. I've visited power oil factory, and I've seen the way power oil is being produced. At no point in our production are hands allowed to touch the oil. Everything is automated. Down to the bottling, everything is automated. The only place where somebody can just even touch something is when those bottles are going into the carton to just ensure that it's complete, and that's it, and move. That's it. So everything is automated, and that makes it really, really fit for consumption. Nigeria is the largest consumer of palm oil in Africa because of our population. We have over 2 million people in Nigeria. Non-compliance with health standard renders it unfit for consumption. So that's it. So level of awareness. How aware are people about the hazards that this loose oil poses to their health? Now, I'm talking here about awareness, but then awareness is one thing, adoption is another thing. Because one could be aware about the hazards, and then adoption is something different. So we, as a brand, I'll come to what we have been doing to educate Nigerians. Taking our time to educate people. We actually looked out for how to reach the Nigerian kitchen, and we found out that women, since in this country, women are the ones who influence the decision as to what oil they use to cook in the markets. So we found out that women are the ones who actually influence that decision in this country. So what we did, we have this program called the Health Camp. I'll come to it, and it's targeted at women. But then if men come to our camp, we are happy to attend to them. But women, we get them together and we educate them. We have also done some collaborations with Lagos State Ministry of Health in several states also, and many women-related programs. I'll come to it. Just to be able to reach out to women wherever we can find them, to educate them and say, this oil is not good for the loose oil is not good for your health, but power oil is what you should be using. So we ran a campaign called Listen to Your Heart, because we know that one of the things that can help you stay healthy is what you consume, your diet. I'll run to the next one. There are some basic misconceptions, so let me spend some time on this. There are some basic misconceptions about loose oil. So when you're coming out there and you're speaking all the grammar to these people, or you're speaking all the language to these people, some of them have their basic misconceptions, and they have some, they made up their mind. They have some things in their mind about the power oil. So one, some of them believe all edible oils are the same. All edible oils are the same. But that's not true. All edible oils cannot be the same. So power oil is triple refined, pure quality cooking oil with no cholesterol, no trans fat. It is perfect for a healthy heart. It has omega-6, omega-9. It also is fortified with vitamin A, which means vitamin A was added to it. Yeah, I visited the factory and I've seen the section where vitamin A, we used to add it to the oil. And other benefits the power oil also gives. So some other people will say, long history of unbranded oil and no impact on our fathers. So our fathers have been using unbranded oil all these years. And then it has had no impact on them. So how come you're now telling me today that this is not good for our health? So our argument to them is, okay, your fathers have been using this all these years. You cannot compare your lifestyle today to the lifestyle of your fathers in those days. Our fathers in those days, most of them lived in the villages. Most of them ate fresh food. Most of them exercised regularly. Most of them were also concerned about what they consume. They will consume quality, they were concerned about the quality of whatever they consume. So many other things like that. Our fathers were very careful. They exercise regularly and all that. Some of them will walk from farms to, long distances, ride bicycles long distances. Today, most of us don't even have time to burn any calorie. And so this also has a way of impacting on our health. And also, branded oils are too expensive, they say. Some people might say branded oils are too expensive. Okay, to this I will say that power oil, when we came into the market, we actually introduced the sachet. We came in through the sachet, with the sachet initiative. So sachet was very affordable for everybody. So if you're saying it's expensive, then sachet is something very affordable and you can find almost everywhere and buy and use. We're very concerned about, the economic status of Nigerians when we came in with sachet. So branded oil are too expensive, that's not supposed to be. And then also, loose oils have had no impact on me so far. So I've been using it all the while, and then till now, it has had no impact on me. So what I will say to that man is there's something called bioaccumulation. Accumulation means that over time, some things can accumulate in your system over time, and then by the time it hits you, you have to spend far more, to remedy that situation. So we all have to be careful about what we eat. We have to be careful about what we consume. If I go back to the previous slide, you will see this loose oil. You will see the way some of them are sleeping. When they even put them in the market, some of them will just sleep inside, the congeal inside those containers. And this is what people consume. So vegetable oil has nothing to do with the heart. Some people heart health, some people say, but then cholesterol has an impact on your heart. So what we consume is very important, and these misconceptions must be corrected. And that's why we are here. Okay, so how have we been able to reach out to people with accurate information? One, we've been able to use the media, both social media and the print media, radio, magazines, the internet. We've been able to reach out through this medium. And also, regulatory agencies also, healthy brands, initiatives, influencers also. We have some influencers with us that are actually helping us to propagate this very important message to Nigerians so that people can begin to become conscious of their health, which is very paramount if we must achieve a healthy nation. So I'll just tell you, as a brand, these are some of the things that we are doing. Health Camp is our CSR, corporate social responsibility. In the Health Camp, you can see that lady there talking to people about power oil and then unbranded oil. So we go to the markets, we try to reach them everywhere they are, take it to them where they are. We go to the markets, we go to conventions, like if we have church conventions, big ones, we go there, talk to the women about it. We go to ministry, sometimes in Lagos also, when they're doing Lagos State Ministry of Women Affairs and all that, we collaborate with them, educate the women about unbranded oil and power oil. Also, in the health camp here, we have a doctor in the health camp, we have promoters also. We check people's BMI. BMI, body weight, body fats. We also check visceral fats. All these are free of charge. We even go to the extent of giving them free samples of power oil sachet to use and see the difference between power oil and unbranded oil. And it will interest you to know that most people that come to our camp, after our doctor start checking them, some people will come to our camp with BP of over 200. And that person is like a walking corpse. And so what we have to do in such situations is to see how we can quickly refer such a person to a hospital. In Nigeria, or even worldwide, the number one killer disease is said to be hypertension. Hypertension. If I ask people here, the people that are here, when was the last time you checked your blood pressure? Something as basic as blood pressure. You'll find out that most of us don't even have time to check it. But then that thing can skyrocket any time and kill people. It has no respect for the great or the small. So taking our time, we adding value by taking these doctors out to these markets and checking them, checking these women, also educating them about what they consume. I'm sure this is a great one that we are doing as a brand. So the health camp is what we started. We started in 2014, and since 2014 we have been running it till now. At the time we're running this every day. We try to see how we can reach people anywhere, both in events, anywhere, just to reach out to women and educate them and say this oil, power oil, is the best oil for your health. Unbranded oil is unfit for your consumption because we care for your hearts. So as a brand, this is one of our mission, and we have been doing well in these respects. We have been able to reach out to more than 1.5 million Nigerians. More than 1.5 million Nigerians. More than 1.5 million Nigerians. And we have this camp in about 16 places. 16 places. This camp runs in about 16 places. Okay, so we also have this initiative called the Walk Heart On. I don't know if anyone has attended this before, but this happens in Lagos, sometimes in Port Harcourt, Abuja, some other places like that in Enugu. So in this also, we get Nigerians to come out and talk to them about their hearts, because their heart is very essential. Their heart is very necessary. Their heart is very important to us. Okay, so in this activity, we get Nigerians to come out and take a walk. Sometimes a 5-kilometer walk, sometimes a 10-kilometer walk, just to educate them about the importance of burning calories. Burning calories, how that is very important to your health. Recently, we had a challenge in my office, and the challenge was said to be the biggest loser. The biggest loser in the sense that the one who will lose the biggest calories. And we found out that most of those who actually have lost more calories are those who were very careful about what they were consuming from that period or during that period. Yeah, so exercise is good. By the time you exercise, throw your arms and everything, and you go and eat, you finish the exercise and go and eat something else, you will have what is called a rebound effect. So rebound effect is that it will double. Your weight will even double, if possible. So to maintain a healthy weight, exercise is necessary, but also be careful about what you consume. It's also very important. I'll go to the next one, play with calories. You can see women there. They are burning calories. What we do here is we get people to burn calories on treadmills, on cyclists, and then if they're able to burn a certain amount of calories, we will give them gifts. They win some prizes, wonderful prizes, with this activity. And level of awareness, you can see our collaborations, Lagos State Women Ministry, Ministry of Women Affairs, and other people that we've even been able to go down to the NYSC because we see these people as influencers. If a core member that just returned from the university comes to the house and says, "Mommy, this oil you're using is not good for your health. This one is the one that is good." We believe that that mother will listen to that child. So we've been able to see them also as influencers, and we're also using every medium to get influencers to influence people to come out of unbranded oil, but then also to make use of the heart-healthy oil, which is power oil. So you can see in the north we have Alinoho there, we have Mercy Johnson, we have other people like Proctor Doctor also with us, who are also helping us to influence people to make use of the heart-healthy oil, to make the healthy choice by making use of power oil. Thank you so much, and it was nice speaking with you.
Thank you very much. Now, before you return to your seats, there's a fireside chat that's going to happen right now, and we're going to have Mr. Temi moderate that. Please, let's give him a round of applause, please.
Thank you.
A fireside chat. I'm looking for the fire. Well, it's in our hearts, right?
Yeah.
So thank you very much for the enlightenment that you have given us. So, when I heard about this fireside chat, what came to my mind immediately was a story that one of our journalists did about 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And it was an investigation. She went into the markets and bought loose oils. And she took a certain quantity of it to a federal government laboratory. And she also got some branded oils, and she did the same. And what she found out would amaze you. The story was titled "Poor Hearts in Barrels of Harmful Oil." Please look for that story and read it. It is very, very eye-opening. So there are so many types of loose oils, but what exactly should people know about how this loose oil come to Nigeria and why they should stay far away from them?
Okay, thank you for the question. So while I was speaking during my presentation, awareness was one thing we mentioned. Most people are not concerned about the source of, what they consume, especially in this country. In developed countries, before people buy new products or buy some product, they try to look at the package and see, what it contains, the content, where it's from, and all that. People are very detailed about, what they consume. But in this country, it looks like people just write a budget from home, just run down to the market, and anything you can get, you just get it. That's why we're actually taking our time as a brand to educate people.
Okay.
Say this unbranded oil is not fit. I saw a documentary some time ago where unbranded oil was being smuggled into Nigeria using petrol tankers. Because these guys are smugglers, they want to, they want to disguise. Yeah, so these people are not careful about your health. As a country, they are careful, they are more, concerned about their
profits.
Their profit, yeah. So they can do anything just to bring these things into the country and just sell it. And with nobody, regulating, checking all these things, it becomes a problem, especially to the health of Nigerians. And that is why Power Oil, we have taken our time to educate people and make the product very available and also affordable in different sizes. So we have it in small sachet, we have it in big sachet, we have it in bottles, smaller size, we have it in bigger size bottles so that people can access the one they can get. So saying that it's too expensive is not an excuse because your health is also very, very important. Health is wealth, like they say. It is very important. So this thing is being smuggled into Nigeria. Another documentary I saw where a tanker carrying this loose oil had an accident, was involved in an accident, and then the loose oil poured into a gutter. Yeah, and then you see Nigerians going there to scoop the oil from the gutter to, scoop it. And these things they will end up selling. Yeah, putting them together. When people buy this loose oil, sometimes when they pour it inside their what do you call it, their frying pan,
yeah,
they see all kind of magic happening. I'm telling you, they see all kind of magic happening inside. And some of them are not concerned about what's going on. They just consume it. Sometimes after frying, they just see everything just sleep. They are not concerned. They just still fry. So that is why we must educate them. We have also been able to come up to say, hey, let's educate these people about the hazards, the harmful impact, the adverse impact of this unbranded oil to their health. Because ignorance is not an excuse. Yes. So ignorance will not vindicate you. So if you are ignorant of this unbranded oil and you are consuming it, it will still end up impacting on your health. So that's why we are telling Nigerians, use this oil, Power Oil.
Okay, so apart from, you mentioned camps, heart camps, health camps, conventions and all. Is there a way, because I think the problem is more, apart from the city centers, the problem is more pronounced in countrysides, rural areas, poor environments. What are you doing to take the message to them and shatter misconceptions about these oils?
Okay, so this is a very good question. We have tried to be very targeted in our approach, strategic also in our approach to reaching out to people. We're not just going everywhere. This countryside that you've actually mentioned is most times where we have this activity running. We have looked at our data and see where this consumption of unbranded oil is very high, and these are the places we are focusing with this health camp. So before we go to a place, we actually look out for the consumption of what. If you want to know what they sell in a place, what you need to do is to go to the shops in that area. You will see what they are selling in those shops. Yes. That's what the people consume.
Yes.
That's the truth. So if they are selling power oil everywhere in the shop, it means that they are consuming power oil. But then if they are selling unbranded oil everywhere in the shops, it means that what? It's unbranded oil they are consuming. So demand will drive supply. So basically that's it. So what we have done, we've been able to target these places and then taking the health camp to them to educate them. We've also seen how we could also reach out to their opinion leaders in such places, because we know that in adoption there are people called laggards. Laggards are people who will always draw back and they will even fight you and tell you that
yeah. So in terms of your innovation adoption, have you had success stories that you would like to tell everyone?
Yes. So as a brand, Power Oil, we have been able to reach, like I mentioned before, about 1.5 million people over. Wow. And also, we are also happy when we go out there and we check somebody's BP and we can see 200 and something, and we refer that person immediately. It means that we are adding value as a brand. Because that person is actually a walking corpse. Anything can happen, just a little sound. We have heard where people will just be in a place, somebody just flip a bottle and all that. There's a big sound, a big bang, and then somebody just dies somewhere. Wow. These are the things that triggers such. So we helping people to know their heart health status and also encouraging them to always do this is a big plus for us. it's a success story for the brand Power Oil. And we are happy to, to be doing this.
Okay, thank you very much. This will be all for the fireside chat. Do you have any message that you want to put out there?
Okay, so in one word, I want to say that we have to be very concerned about what we consume. We have chefs here, chefs that have come up here to talk to us about the business side of cooking, talk to us about, motivation and all that. But then also the healthy side of also cooking is also, the health side of cooking is also very important. So as you make your meals, we should not just be interested in the taste, we should also be interested in it coming out healthy. Healthy, because in this country, you will see where people will go and say, Oga, put, they go to a restaurant and they say, Oga, put shaki, put broccoli, put this, put that. And then they end up eating everything and they feel like, man, I'm enjoying. You see the man growing a pot belly and it feels like he's doing really well. But in developed countries, they see you in such, they feel like you're obese and all that. Because they are concerned, there's this awareness that they all have about their health and their, they want to live long. And that's impacting on their, their life expectancy also. So please, chefs, as you're making your meals, put health also into consideration. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Samuel Ojefo from Power Oil, the headline sponsors of this event. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please, I would ask both of you to just stand by the side while you have a picture, your pictures taken. Please, let's give them another round of applause. Thank you. Now give me a round of applause. I feel like I deserve it. Wow. Thank you. All right, before we wrap up the event, I would like to take comments, probably just 2 comments. So if you have anything to say concerning the event itself, you could go ahead, raise your hand. Let's see. Anybody? All right, we have 1. Any other person? 2. All right, let's start with you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dr. Mrs. Ebele. I was invited for this program. I'm not a chef, please, but anything cooking interests me. I want to make an observation. It's not really a question. Many years ago, when we have occasions, we were used to seeing old mamas doing the cooking for maybe funerals or weddings or traditional weddings, etc. And 2 or 3 of them could cook for 1,000 people, and the food will turn out fine on firewood. But I think things have evolved now. Now we are having tush caterers that don't go near firewood and all that and all that. Now, this present chef, have you done away with the mamas of the old? Are they no longer recognized? I want somebody to give me an answer to this. Because they were the, foundation of cooking those days.
Okay. I wouldn't say we've done away with the mamas cooking, but hey, they've died. People are coming up who also grow old. I'm 60, I don't expect myself to be behind a burner cooking for people. Do you understand? So things would evolve. A younger generation will come. They wouldn't be cooking with what we are cooking with now. Using a mortar and pestle is going out of the way. You use your food processor and you make perfect yam or pound or whatever it's called, but it's because it's no longer pounded yam. So technology, lifestyle, there will be involvement. I don't think it's necessary for someone to cook with firewood now. Even for jollof rice, you don't need to cook with firewood to get the smoky jollof rice. So, and they need to rest. If my grandmother were a caterer cooking with firewood, I don't expect her to be doing the same at this age. She should be resting or dead.
Business Day for this platform. Editor, sir, and marketing manager, can we have a bigger conference, better, that will bring all of us, stakeholders and all, so that we can have this talk with associations, so that we can have this talk, a bigger conference, a bigger platform, like someone or two people said, if they didn't see it on my status, they wouldn't have known things like this were happening. And I'm sure lots of more people want to attend this kind of, it's a good initiative. I mean, it's an initiative that other media houses do not know about, and which you people can take it to the next level, and which might end up becoming even a food festival. We have symposiums, we bring in other chefs from other countries. The issue we have now is that, like I was talking to my friend, we chefs can't travel out like that because nobody wants to grant us visa. They are not sure whether we will come back, but we need to be exposed. We need to see, we need to invite, and we need to be invited. And that's what is causing this thing that as if we are just boxed in we are boxed in a box where we cannot, like my friend was saying that power oil, why you come, we chefs can't become influencers. You have to bring in actors, and because we have paid our dues, they have paid their dues, we agree, that's why they are called celebrities. But you see, if Food Network was continuing, if Food Network goes and bring in Usher, the chefs will not be known. Because we are the ones using these things directly. So you need to boost us. Let us too become celebrities. Thank you.
All right, our editor would like to say a few words as well.
Thank you, Chef Ete. As I said when I made the opening speech, don't underestimate what we're starting today. I think, and that's why I was very grateful. I said, don't use the attendance in the hall as a measure of what's the reach and what we can do. Let me be clear about Business Day and how we think. One, I think, start with the publisher. So he says, experiment, learn. If it doesn't work, shut it down, move on. Okay, but learn, okay? So today with Ijoma, head of sales and marketing, we've been taking notes, lots of notes on how we can make this bigger, and that's the intention, because we've seen, because it matches something, our DNA, and I'll explain our DNA in 3 A's, okay? We aggregate audiences, okay, whether it's in online, print, or events, but we aggregate audiences. On that audience, we're amplifying your cause, your voice. We're also advocating for reform. So that's our DNA. We aggregate, we amplify, we advocate. What we've discovered today, okay, is about, the catering business, the chef business, the cooking business is huge. It has potential. And obviously, there are pain points. People in their own corners just basically bearing it alone. And this is what we do very well. Bring everyone in the room and let's share those pain points. And someone say, oh, I have a solution for that. Oh, actually, I'm building a big kitchen where you can prep. That's something that I took away from here today. Okay? There's probably somebody out there doing this, but he hasn't been found, or she hasn't been found in the room where people have this need. And say, oh, here. And that happens in business day conferences. We haven't had the opportunity of, I have a long list of people that should be in this room today that are not, that will definitely be in the room next year. And we'll make it one of our biggest conferences. And I also see opportunities in partnering with the sponsor, collaboration. I think it's, and obviously, I also said, what's a food conference without even samples of food, apart from cooking oil? Fantastic. But to taste and just experience it. So there's a potential here, and it's not, we're taking notes, and we're learning. And you can be sure that next year, we'll be back.
Thank you very much to our editor right there. Please let's give him another round of applause. All right, just information that I feel you should know. If you think you have learned a lot from here and you have something to take home with you, kindly go on YouTube, Business Day NG, and follow on YouTube as well as all our social media platforms. You can also share the live video that happened here. Everything that happened here has been recorded and it was live. So go ahead, share that with your friends, your family, your network, and every other person that you think needs this information that has been given here today. Thank you so much for coming. Now, before we wrap up, I would like Mrs. Ijoma Ude from Business Day, Chief Sales Marketing Officer, to give the closing remarks. Please give her a round of applause.
Thank you, everyone. I am very, very happy, and I would like to say I'm delighted. I learned a lot here. Let me share my experience. I have a 13-year-old son. He woke up one day and said he wants to be a chef. And my husband was like, "What do you mean, chef?" And I realized most times when I'm coming back from work, he would tell me, "Mommy, help me buy this, buy tomato, buy onions, buy this, I need to do this. I was asked to do this in school," and I'll get those things from him. During COVID, let me be sincere, he was the one doing breakfast for us, lunch and dinner. Last year, we went for, I think, their end of year party, and I was seated. And some people were coming to me, "Congratulations, ma." I'm like, "What's happening here?" And they said, "Your son won the best chef." And I'm like, "Really? What did he prepare?" "Unripe plantain." I did not teach him how to prepare unripe plantain, but I realized that he was going online, Google, find out things about it, and along the line, he was good with what he was doing. And the only thing is just that my husband keep on disencouraging him. "I don't want you to be a chef. I want you to be an IT engineer. I want you to be this. I want you to be that." But with my experiences here today, I'll be proud if my son comes out tomorrow to say he's a chef. I'll be very, very proud. I'm very impressed with the set of people I'm seeing seated here talking about their experiences, how they started from the scratch to where they are today. I am very, very impressed. And I would like to say this is our first conference on cooking up business. And we are going to, I promise you guys that 2024 will be bigger than this. It will be very big, bigger than what we are seeing now. And on behalf of Business Day, the publisher, the management, the staff, I want to say a big thank you to everyone here. I want to say a big thank you to the speakers, the moderators, and our sponsor, Power Oil. And I would like to say a big thank you to my friend, Mr. Yinka Adebayo. Thanks for all your support. He's actually the brain behind what we are doing through Power Oil. And Samuel, thank you very much. I appreciate. And to all the chefs, thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll be delighted to see everyone come 2024. And as you leave today, I say safe journey to your homes, and may God bless you all. Have a great day.
Let's give her another round of applause, please. Again, thank you for coming. Thank you for making it here today. We truly appreciate you, and thank you to all our sponsors and every single person that has made this a success. Now, before we leave, I would like to reintroduce myself. My name is Kemi Michael, and before you start speaking Yoruba to me, I am not Yoruba. I'm actually Akwa Ibom. Yeah, thank you. My full name is Akemi Obong, and let's stick with. Don't ask me any more questions. Stick with Kemi Michael is fine. Thank you very much. And I look forward to seeing you to other Business Days events. I'm looking forward to seeing your beautiful faces there, as well as seeing you next year at another Cooking Up conference. Thank you and have a beautiful day. Kindly step to the back. You're going